Yo, what up, guys? Welcome back to the fastest growing sports gambling podcast in the tri-state area. We got AA Anthony Alessino. We got the graduate Brian Castiglione. And my name, as always, is James Hawkinjost. And this is Parlay-Vous. What up, and welcome, everybody, to the Parlay-Vous podcast. First things first, we have fans in Columbus, Ohio. Shout out to fans in Columbus, Ohio. They're our number one city in the world by plays all time. And we want to hear from you. So
I want to know who you are.
we want to hear from you. We want to hear how you heard the show. What do you like about it? What don't you like? Want some feedback? HOH Podcasting on Instagram. Slide in those DMs. Shout out Columbus, Ohio.
For real.
That's all I got to say about that. We're going to lead the show with an interesting stat. I don't know, you guys may or may not have seen or heard the stat. There's only been 2 NFL playoff games in all time where a quarterback has had 300-plus passing yards, 60-plus rushing yards, 4-plus passing TDs. It was Josh Allen on Sunday night and Josh Allen last week.
Yeah, I feel so bad.
And I got berated on this show. Dare I say berated on my own show last week for saying that I would take Allen over Mahomes.
Yeah, but you know what's weird?
Mahomes won the game.
Someone's playing Sunday.
I know.
So, it's a little weird. I mean, it's a little weird for you to, it kind of feels like he's asking for an apology.
Do you feel you were berated?
Not so much by you, but I felt a little berated by him. Yeah.
Berated or a little just like you felt just like I had a like.
Did you feel he was being
guard?
Disrespectful?
Yeah, like
a little bit.
No,
yeah,
stop.
I felt a little.
And if you felt,
disrespectful.
if you felt disrespectful, it was because I was being disrespectful.
Well,
because
nice.
Sunday, this upcoming Sunday, Patty Mahomes is going to play a game, and Josh Allen is not going to play in that game. Now, I'm not saying it wasn't Josh. It was. Listen.
No, it was not Josh Allen's fault. Let me just finish that sentence for you.
Whatever.
Don't want to take anything away from Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs' offense to move the ball 80 yards in 10 seconds.
That is wild.
Is wild.
I mean,
But this entire game, and I'm not being original in saying this, I've heard at least one person say it already. For what it was on offense, great. It was an absolute disgraceful display of defensive football on both sides of the ball.
More so the Bills.
Well, the end, yeah, but the entire game was pretty much, I mean, the Mahomes, like both of these quarterbacks were like they had butter or oil on them and nobody could get a hold of them. Mahomes, how many times they have him dead to rights in the backfield? He's just like, yeah, right, 7 yards.
Yeah.
Yeah, right, Tyreek Hill with my left hand. Like, and Allen, the same thing on 4th and 5 with the season on the line.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, right, dude. I'm beating you to the
Yeah, but
corner.
Josh Allen's also like a more athletic prime Ben Roethlisberger. Like he is hard to take down.
I could see that.
He's faster than Ben ever was.
Yeah.
He's like I see that more from Josh Allen as like Patrick Mahomes. But Patrick Mahomes, it was an outlier. He won't do that next week. He won't do that every week. He doesn't do that. I mean, we see in the script he doesn't do that. Allen does. He does do
Allen
that.
has to.
Who's the most complete team? The Chiefs, right? They lost their best defensive player. Well, not best defensive player, but they lost Matthew early on.
I would say the most complete team. You mean out of the two of them?
Yeah, the two
Oh,
of them.
Oh, then the Chiefs. Yeah.
Probably the Chiefs.
So you knew going into this he was down the 8 ball, and whatever. I mean, I don't want to. I hate doing this because I guess this is what the show's about, right? Ripping on people that will never be and stuff like that. Like that's how it works.
Right, that's how this industry
Because
works.
you know what I mean. Like I know I'm not an athlete.
Go ahead and do it. You said you were going to do it.
I am. I know I am.
What are you going to say?
Like I'm not an athlete.
Call him out.
I've
dude.
never been an athlete. And for
D3 college baseball red shirt.
I've never been an athlete.
All right.
and I'll tell
Thanks.
you that.
Thanks. I can't tell if that's disrespectful or if that's
like a backhanded compliment.
But anyway. So I'll say it, right? Because
Say it.
here's how I feel. Andy Reid goes up to Patrick Mahomes, says, "When life's grim, become the Grim Reaper," right?
Oh.
Matt Stafford. You heard this one, right?
Yeah,
When the Buccaneers tied it, right? McVay and Stafford are talking on the sideline, and McVay says, "Snatch their souls."
That's amazing.
Oh,
And
I
then-
thought you were
hear
talking
this.
about what he said about the Bucs this Sunday.
Who?
Stafford.
No, what did he say?
They asked him about it, and he was like, "Yeah, I saw they sent everyone on the last
Oh.
play, and I immediately knew that was a mistake."
Oh, yeah. Well, I saw that, but he said,
Okay.
McVay said, snatch their souls,
Yeah.
and he wrote, I'm the soul snatcher, he said back. He said, I am. He goes, I'm going to ruin everybody. I'm ruining it. I'm ruining
Matt
everybody's
Stafford
time.
Matt
spent-
Stafford is rewriting his legacy this season.
That's exactly what I was.
But
gonna
I'm
say.
saying,
Matt
but
Stafford has
so-
spent too much time in Detroit.
So here's the thing,
He's
right?
like, now's the time.
So you see that, and you're like, it's like almost inspiring to me, like where I'm like, these athletes, their mental abilities are like just different, right? Like they're just different. Like anybody else, anybody in this room, definitely anybody in this room, right? Because most people, they lose the lead with 13 seconds left in the game, and they're like, well, that was fucking bullshit. That was fun, but it's over. Like you're not. Even if you want to think that, you're not thinking it like Mahomes was thinking it, and Kelsey and Hill, like we're good, and that's different. That's on a different level. But here's what I'm getting to: Stephon Diggs. You knew it was coming, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
Like I said, not an athlete, but oh my god,
Disappeared
in a game that was the narrative was set around him.
And Mateo's out.
But
Matthew.
yeah.
Matthew's
Safety
out.
over the top, right?
But it's still something.
But yeah,
Still
but
someone that would
the
probably
narrative
be
of the
big.
game was set around him. It was not only Josh Allen versus Mahomes. We knew that. That's great. But it was Stephon Diggs watching with his helmet, the Chiefs celebrate
Right.
last year, and it was like 365 days in the making. 3 catches, 7 yards, 4 targets. 4 targets means you weren't even open. Like you weren't even getting open. Right? You want to say that he was being doubled the whole time? Fine, great.
Well,
But the great ones find ways to get open.
There is a reason that Gabe Davis went for 205 and 4 touchdowns.
100%.
Part of that is Diggs not being there, but I agree.
100%.
Diggs didn't hear like a mouse. There's a mouse in that house, and he's wearing number 1 foreign white Sunday night, dude.
But they could have got him more involved. I mean, maybe it's on the offensive coordinator. I don't know who it's on, but to go silent like that and your biggest play to be tackling a streaker, that was your play of the game, dude. That was your highlight play.
Yeah.
Right? And Gabriel Davis is out here going, I got us. I'm gonna make myself a superstar in the making. I'm gonna do this now, right?
Yeah.
So yes, you're saying he might have been double covered. He might have been. That's great. And Gabriel Davis might have been 1-on-1, but he was still 1-on-1 with a professional cornerback, and he still did him dirty. You saw what he did on the last play.
On the post route was sick.
Absolutely. Like the guy's ankle's still laying on the field, dude.
No, here's I think Russillo said this. This goes the other way around. We're ripping this guy, right? They don't win this game. The butt of the internet is this guy.
Right.
Who is he?
Oh,
Doesn't matter. Nobody
yeah.
knows who it was.
No.
I know it was number 21.
21. Yeah, I know
I
it's
know it
21.
was number
Because
21.
we were pointing it out. We were like,
Well,
is it Baker? And it
Because
wasn't.
DeAndre Baker is number 20.
Yeah, 20,
and I was
yeah.
hoping to God it was DeAndre Baker. But I don't know who number. I know it's not Charvarius Ward, but I
No. Yeah.
I'm not sure who it was.
Yeah.
But had this gone the other way around, it would all be on this guy getting sniped, dude.
Oh my
Sniped
God.
at the 15-yard line.
Crazy. All right, so are
Jack, he's been holding the mic for some time. What? Get in. Go ahead. Tap in.
As a gambling show, the reason I did not win $750 on Sunday is because of Stephon Diggs catching the ball 3 times. And that,
Yeah.
you know, sometimes
Great, dude.
you just
Great.
want to feel.
Great. The reason I didn't win 1,400 is because the Bills' defense allowed Patrick Mahomes and the boys to go 80 yards in 10 seconds. Bills' money line cashes. Your boys up 14 tall ones this week.
So we're both
So
in the same
great,
boat. So
dude.
no remorse.
whose fault is it though? We talked about this last night, right? Me and Jimmy spoke about this Sunday night. Sorry. Whose fault is it, right? I mean, yeah, it's Diggs' fault, but it's really your fault because you didn't. You could have just took the under. You would have been all the way to the bank.
I could have taken the under, but you know what? We like to swing.
You bought
big,
into the
and
hype.
Sometimes
You bought
into
into
the Stephon Diggs hype.
You bought into this revenge game for. I don't know. It was weird. I never knew. I'm sorry. I always knew that this game wasn't going to be about Stephon Diggs. It wasn't going to hinge on whether Stephon Diggs went for 10 catches, 180. It was never about that. It was always going to be how hard is Josh Allen going to will his team versus how well Tyreek Hill and Kelsey were going to do with Mahomes, like, you know, as a trio, right? It always felt like that to me. I mean,
no, that's an accurate. I agree with you, And my final point is, if you are a receiver of Stephon Diggs' caliber in a playoff game that is do or die, do you expect that guy to make over 5 catches?
Of course.
I sure would hope so.
Of course. But, you know.
Have at
Sometimes
least
you buy
60
into
or
the hype.
70 yards.
And sometimes
right.
That's
is
prop
what it
bets,
is.
dude.
So
Part of
here,
it is also
here,
just
before
poor betting.
I- we're-
Prop bets are
this
not
show is going to be a
small bets.
little
It's all
little all over the place, but I have to just say this while we're on it, right? So some guy on Packers Walter Picks on TikTok. Okay, I have it up. Great.
The man brought the receipts.
Yep,
this
I
week.
brought the receipts. He had a phenomenal TikTok. All right, so he wants to compare the current landscape of quarterbacks to the, I guess we'll call it old generation of quarterbacks, right?
Okay.
And he is comparing Tom Brady to Patrick Mahomes, saying the winner, everything goes right for him. That's what it says. He's got Peyton Manning to Josh Allen, complete stat man, but consistently just falls short. This is how he thinks their career will play out,
Okay.
right? Big Ben is Joe Burrow, the third wheel who will win a championship when Josh Allen and Mahomes don't make it. But
Okay.
he's got to have that right scenario. And then the last one is Rivers to Herbert, a Chargers QB
God.
that just can't catch a break, and he'll always have a right. And I'm looking at him like, oh, that's pretty good.
It's not
That
bad.
is good.
That's pretty
Yeah.
good.
It's not bad.
I think for the foreseeable future, those 4 quarterbacks in the AFC, I'd be shocked if we don't see at least.
And we'll get to it later, but Burrow's gonna play the man this weekend. Like, he's not necessarily out of it. Like, we're just, this game happened. We treated it like the AFC title game, but that's, what did Herm say? Was it Herm? That's why you play the game? Or
said
no,
we're-
Herm said you play to win the game.
We're gonna save the predictions because I have a spicy one.
All right, that's fine. It's fine. I do. Yeah, that's pretty much spot on. That guy's TikTok.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
I feel like it is.
Yeah.
I feel like it is. Do you want to do the other game or
Yeah, we good on everything with Bills Chiefs.
anything to say? Anything to say?
I mean, greatest playoff
No,
game.
I lost money.
Greatest playoff game.
Oh,
People are saying
I-
ever, and like I think whenever you use the word ever, it's a broad stroke. This is what I will say, and I said it to my dad and my brother Phil on Monday. I've been watching football like pretty much attentively, at least definitely like the Jets and playoff games attentively for 20 years now. Best playoff game I've ever seen.
We knew
game
that.
was great.
Yeah.
I knew
Yeah,
going
that game
into
was
this
great.
game that it lived up to the hype. The one thing I'll say, I don't know if you want to discuss it, was the overtime rule. And we went back and forth a little bit about it, how
Save overtime for the middle segment
okay.
when we talk about all
Okay.
kinds of nonsense.
All right, that's fine. That's fine.
Um,
All right, let's break down the other game then.
Next one on my list is Rams Tampa Bay. Pretty much how I thought it would go
Yeah.
until the end.
Like, and then you got nervous.
And then Tom
Yeah.
Brady, and it's funny because V Ridge, shout out V Ridge, he texted me and asked me if I wanted to hedge because he knew I had money on the Rams when it was 27-3 because it was plus
Yeah.
1,800, and he was like, "Hey, listen, I don't want to give you any bad vibes, but you know how this game might go, right?" And I was like, "Nah, I'm
It's
good.
not a bad call.
I'm good.
honestly.
I'm not gonna hedge."
Nah, this one's over.
And
not
then
bad
I
at
just
all.
watched it consistently fall apart. And
Yeah.
I'm sitting there
Fucking
like
close.
everybody else in America going, "Oh my God, Stafford's going to lose this game with 4 turnovers and none of them are on him."
Yeah.
When that snap happened and it went over his head, there was a good part of me that was like, Tom's gonna do this.
You know what I
Yeah.
think it
Like,
was?
You're like, fuck, we've seen
I-
this before.
I think he was grabbing and wiping his hand on his towel,
he was.
and they thought it was the snap.
yeah,
like
but he
the s-
wasn't looking, you know?
Yeah, because he
well, the
was
center
wiping.
obviously,
He
yeah.
wasn't anticipating the ball.
He-
coming. He
it
was
wasn't
gonna
the
look for it.
signal to snap the ball.
No, I know, yeah,
and
yeah,
most teams, it's not the center; it's the guard sees it and then taps the
Right,
center.
right, right.
So whoever's fault it was, but I think that's what happened.
It's just like, I don't know. It was a good game.
Yeah, it was
You
a
could
good
just
game.
you just knew that Tom Brady didn't have the firepower left, and when they did tie it, I was like, it was one of those things where I'm like, if the game goes to overtime, Chiefs have the advantage. If the game goes to overtime, the Bucks have the advantage, and the only difference was the Rams left no time left on the clock. That,
Which was probably the best thing too.
that was the difference, you know. What I
And the
mean?
Rams
Yeah.
did it with no timeouts remaining.
And,
got
yeah,
up there and
yeah.
clocked it old.
And the
school.
Rams have arguably the best wide receiver in the world right now.
This season.
So, yeah, right. In the world right now.
And Matt Stafford, number one, I think per PFF, Number one quarterback when
Under
facing
pressure.
pressure this season.
So they bring pressure.
They bring pressure and he fucking lights him up. Oh yeah. green
Okay,
light.
but let's play devil's advocate because we just said we spoke, right? That how do you drop back and play the sidelines if you're the Bills? How do you play so soft? How do you play blah blah blah? And then we're gonna turn around and get mad at them for bringing 5, bringing 6. The only thing I really have a problem with is Winfield. Like you you can't get beat there, and you know the best player on
differences. This is a tied football game with plenty of time left. The other situation is a 3-point game with 13 seconds left. They're different situations. So I don't necessarily hate
plenty of time
playing regular defense with that in that kind of a situation. The game is tied. You were winning in the Bills game, and you're defending the boundaries when the boundaries don't matter because they had all 3 of their timeouts left, and they beat you down the seam 2 plays in a row for 40 yards a pop to get not only in field goal range. It was 39 yards. It was a chip shot.
So it's weird because there were 25 points scored in that game, and I remember I said it. I was like, "There's gonna be 3 touchdowns in this game," and it was like 3 minutes left, and I'm like, "They're gonna score 3 times," and he was like, "You think?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I think they're gonna score 3 times." And then I said that kind of like a little loosely, like not actually believing it, and then it happened. I was like, "Holy shit, dude!" Like they're just so the defense is. I don't think like I said, I think they did a bad job, but. If you take the last 2 minutes of the game out, it was not a good defensive game, but it wasn't a horrific defensive game. The last 2 minutes that made it horrific.
Terrible.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So,
but even before the fireworks, it was 23-21, which is an average scoring game. It's not like it's not like we were locking people up.
I don't know. I just feel like
they hit over 70.
They
hit over 70.
Brady did in that game. Brady did what Brady does and kept his team in it. And his defense, give them credit, they did what they had to do to keep the Rams in check.
They did, but I thought McVay got
everybody. I always say this. I always say
too conservative.
17-3. You have a chance to just do it, stomp them out, and they couldn't.
I got no problem with being conservative when it's 27-6.
No,
27-3, right? And then they kick the field goal. It's 27-6. Now it's 27-13, and it's still run, punt. And now, it's 27-27. Well, you just went 3 straight drives.
They missed the field goal that I didn't think they should have even attempted. I think they should have went for it. I know it's again, it's all 2020. It's all hindsight. Of course, if Matt Gay hits that, none of it happens. None of any of the dramatics happen. It's probably over. That's just how it is.
He redeemed himself though.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, yeah. No, he did. He did. Anything, Brian, on this one before we go to the next game?
No, like Hawk said, it pretty much went exactly how it was going to go.
Yeah.
I thought the Rams were winning either way.
We're not going to talk.
I didn't think it'd be as, neck and neck. I kind of figured by the end of the 4th, we'd be like, all right.
Yeah.
I mean, the way you've always beaten Brady is you got to beat him. You got to beat him up physically.
Yeah,
you got to hit him. You got to get in his face.
Yeah.
And that's
like
exactly
that for 20
what
years.
they did. It's exactly what they did. And then I think it was on the strip. Was it on the strip sack when they just ripped the ball right out of his hands? When he was just laying there like starfish on the ground.
Yeah.
One of the first times we've ever seen Tom just completely done. Like you knew at that point it was done.
We're not going to talk about his future, but
no, that's not. I just meant done.
No. I know what you're saying, but I'm saying there's always that in the air too now.
It's stating the obvious, but I do think this game's a lot different if Godwin's there and Evans isn't getting covered by Ramsey.
100%.
Like I said, it is stating the obvious, but that's a huge thing. Not having him there, not having Wirfs.
No Wirfs. Jensen played, but he was hurt. And the backup tackle had piss running down his leg.
Yeah.
But again, we know this. We know this as bettors. We know this as sport fans. It's not about the best team. It's about who's playing the best.
Yeah.
That's just how it is. And for a while, the Rams were, at least the first part of the season, in my mind, considered the most talented team, the best team in the league. We've been saying it since literally week 1 on the show that we had the Rams, right? We've been saying that.
Yeah.
Moving forward now, there was a lull in the middle of the year where we're like, but now they're playing well. The defense is playing with their hair on fire. Yeah, but the defense is playing with their hair on fire. Stafford's ready to play.
Akers looks great. Akers came back and looks great.
On on the NFC in the NFC, the top quarterbacks are all gone. Rodgers is gone.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott is gone. If
Tom
you
Brady
consider
gone.
him a top quarterback, Tom Brady is gone. So now you're sitting there and you're like,
We got Garoppolo over
yeah,
Stafford.
right? And Stafford's got a
key.
legit chance to get to his first Super Bowl. Probably
Yeah,
does.
He
So,
probably does.
but we'll talk about that later.
I just have one question. Obviously, season's not over. After seeing this game, are you scared? If your team is playing, if you're a fan of a team and you're playing Matt Stafford, are you scared?
Yes.
I'm not
You
really.
should-
I'm
Matt
not.
Stafford is that.
I'm not
dude,
scared
but-
of Matt Stafford. I'm scared of I'm scared of the machine.
The whole team.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm not.
but Stafford is
scared of
still
the
that.
entity.
Dude,
I'm scared of Josh Allen. Like if I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm like, fuck.
Yeah.
How do we do this? But if I'm playing the Rams and I'm a defensive coordinator, I'm like, all right, guys, we gotta watch out for everybody.
Yeah.
Dude, they were Robert Woods' kneecap, right? Robert Woods' ACL tendon from being literally a ligament, right?
Right, but Robert
Unstoppable.
Woods' injury is what led to Odell.
No, Odell was signed the day before he tore his
Yeah.
ACL.
They signed Odell. Robert Woods.
I'm not saying Odell has 6 touchdowns.
That's true.
Yeah,
They
I'm not
signed
saying Odell has 6 touchdowns. But if Odell is the slot guy on a team that is he's like spot playing, you know what I mean? Where he's only getting 25 snaps a game and it's 100. He's moving 100%. That's unstoppable. Robert Woods can play ball. No one can deny that.
Robert
right?
Woods is a good ball player. For sure.
And he has some connection with Stafford. I mean, obviously Cup did. It shows you.
Obviously.
It shows you the rapport. But I don't know.
What's the contract situation like for Robert Woods?
I don't know.
I'm not a.
You know what I was thinking about earlier today? I didn't look it up. What's the contract situation for Cooper Kupp? We'll talk about that in the next
I
segment.
An
think
extension in March, dude.
Gotta
Are you
be, right?
kidding me?
Gotta be.
Yeah, we'll look
That's
that
the
up and
contract
figure it
deal.
out. My favorite game definitely is Saturday.
Okay.
My favorite game of Saturday, San Francisco, Green Bay. Aaron Rodgers pieced the fuck out of Lambeau
Yeah.
Field for the final time.
Yep.
The worst
It's hard
special
'cause-
teams unit throughout the entire NFL season gives up 10 points.
I'm gonna sound like one of those people, but I'm gonna tell you guys straight up. I had the Packers going into this. When San Fran blocked the field goal going into halftime, I immediately put all money on San Francisco 49ers and didn't think twice about it. I was completely convinced. I'm like, this is exactly how this is gonna go. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
They're the hottest team in the league. Unfortunately, say whatever you want. They're the hottest team in the league.
They have to be.
They are.
They have to be.
They are the hottest team. You can't deny that. They're the hottest team.
Who is if they're not?
I mean, they won a playoff game, I think, for the first time going back since the early 80s. Without scoring an offensive or defensive touchdown.
Totally great.
But
they
making it
won.
happen. Yeah, they're making it happen.
I would argue that the Rams are probably hotter than them right now. Absolutely turning Kyler off. And then really, I mean,
Till the end, turning Brady.
towards the end, turn Brady and the Bucks off. And the Niners, can turn people off too.
Every single person in
but-
that locker room.
When both of the defenses can get after it that way, it goes back to the quarterback. And Stafford is 10 times the quarterback of James.
That's true.
Yeah, but we're not gonna talk. We're not doing predictions now. We're just
I'm
saying
talking about the hot team, though.
well, the
all right,
hot-
so
the
right,
hot
that's
team is-
matchup
yeah.
based, but still, I
the
think
hot team is the 49ers, and every single person in the 49ers locker room knows they could beat every single team they play, and they have some sort of swagger to them right now. And it's just, you gotta face facts. Like it's unfortunately that's how it is. I think they're the least talented team left. I would say. I would say that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would feel good about that. Bengals maybe, but yeah, probably the 49ers.
You think the Niners are less talented than the Bengals? We don't have to
Yeah,
debate it. Just yes or no.
yeah. It's close.
I feel it's close. All right.
You know,
Yeah.
like Burrow is better than Garoppolo, right?
Yeah. I
Right.
feel like it has to be.
I mean, Kittle is not Kittle. I will tell you this:
Kittle
is
has
not
been non-existent.
he's not
for a
playing
while.
well.
Is he just getting schemed out?
Well, he's blocking phenomenally, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
he's always been a great
Well, that's
blocker. But
part of the issue is that when they're getting beat up on the offensive line, which they do,
he
in
goes
these
to
big-
blocks,
especially against teams like the Rams. Yeah, he
He's an-
stays
and-
in 5-man pass
and
protection.
he's an elite blocker.
He's the best blocking tight end
Yeah.
in the NFL.
Yeah.
So that's honestly, that's almost a disadvantage to him that he's such a good pass blocker
Oh,
as
for
a
stats
receiver.
wise,
Yeah, as a receiver.
I'm sure you ask him. He's like, "We're going to the NFC Championship."
Oh no, he
game,
don't give a
huh?
shit. He don't give a
You
shit.
kidding me?
So, Bengals, right?
Bengals, Titans, Ryan fucking Tannehill.
Yeah.
Gotta go. Gotta go. They're never gonna do it with Ryan Tannehill.
They
They're never gonna.
They
do
were
it
the
with
one
Ryan
seed. Isn't it weird to say that? The
Yeah.
quarterbacks got to go. They were
Mm.
the 1 seed.
That's
And the
great.
best player on their
That's
team,
great.
the best player on their roster, didn't play for half a season. And they were the 1 seed. That sounds silly, right? And I agree with you.
No,
I'm not
I agree with him
disagreeing.
too, but it
I'm not
is funny
disagreeing.
when you
But
think
when you
about
break it down, you're like, oh, the quarterback of the 1 seed without
lost their
a
star
running back? He's got to go? What are you, nuts? Julio Jones is out half the year. He's got that's the guy that's got to go? But I'm like, no, yeah, totally, I agree. Like, it's weird. It's like a really weird thing. A really, really, really weird thing.
And even
Never gonna win a big game with Ryan Tannehill.
an even better question: Who will? Who will do it for the Titans?
But we can't talk about that now.
Yeah, it's
Because
not-
there's
it's not right
in the
now.
second segment, there's 9 coaches and about 27 quarterbacks that are available. And we have to put them in the right spot. So I can't talk about that now.
Worst playoff performance by Aaron Rodgers, possibly.
I
ever?
guess. It was the greatest opening drive you could have.
Yeah,
Like,
tremendous.
I
And then
saw the first
nothing.
drive, I'm like, it's 49-0.
Yeah, it's over.
I'm like,
dude.
this game's over. And
I'm
then
gonna go eat dinner.
the rest of the game.
Yeah.
The rest
Yeah.
of the game, I don't think, what the fuck, man? Devontae Adams is spectacular, phenomenal. Everything you look for in a wide receiver. Honestly,
Yeah.
he is. The rest of them, they can fuck off. They can kick rocks. They can
Alan Lazard, kick rocks.
kick rocks. Randall Cobb, dude.
Equanimous, St. Brown.
Randall Cobb,
Your brother's better than you. Kick rocks.
kick rocks, dude. That's it. That's it. Kick rocks, dude. Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon, love them.
Yeah, solid.
I think,
And then Dylan got hurt in this game as well.
yeah,
right?
I think this game was. If you could have a trap game in the divisional round of the playoffs, this was the trap game.
I said going into it last week, it's a terrible matchup for the Packers.
It was. We knew
They
that.
were a terrible
that.
matchup for the Packers. We'll say this. When 2005 draft, when Aaron Rodgers was not drafted, I believe it's 2005 draft.
Mhm.
When Aaron Rodgers is not drafted by the San Francisco 49ers 1 overall, they took one Alex Smith instead. And he's later drafted, I believe, 25th overall to the Green Bay Packers.
In the 20s.
25th,
yeah.
26th, 27th, something like that.
27. I don't. Okay,
I
yeah.
think it might be 20. Whatever. Someone correct me. Columbus, Ohio. He said after the draft or the next day or whatever that they're gonna regret it for the rest of their lives or for the rest of his career or whatever. 0-4 all time against San Francisco in the playoffs.
Tough.
Yeah.
Bad look,
But-
Aaron. Bad look, Aaron.
But he's got a ring.
He's got one ring.
And so do the 49ers don't have one though. They lost in the Super Bowl, right? To the Ravens.
And the Chiefs. A couple years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Alex Smith wasn't a bad pick, but we're not here to discuss that. You know what I mean?
No,
he
no,
wasn't.
no.
He wasn't a bad pick. He wasn't a bad pick. I lost my train of thought. I was upset about Randall Cobb, and then I wanted to say something else, but
Well, we're into Tennessee Cincy now.
no, I had something else to say about that. But I guess it's by the wayside now.
Rodgers gonna leave. We're not gonna talk about that now. I'm in my heart of hearts. He's either leaving or retiring. He's not playing for the Green Bay Packers next year.
We're not talking.
We're not
going
gonna
to
talk about that now though. Cincy, Tennessee. This was the game I actually watched the least of. I listened to a lot of it on the radio, and I was actually out to an early dinner for the start of it. So I didn't see a whole lot of it. I didn't see the interception that was dragged on the grass, which I've heard conflicting things on. How is that enough to get to be possession before it hits the ground? But receivers got to take fucking 2 steps and do the.
I think it was an interception, and I bet on the Bengals. So Jamar Chase could have catch a touchdown, and that would have been great, but
Yeah.
Well,
it didn't happen. Not to mention, I mean, I guess we'll talk about it in the second segment, but Jesus Christmas, our bets. It's just the Parlay-Vous touchdown bet.
oh, nightmare.
I
nightmare.
mean, it's like you couldn't. I wonder what would happen if we took none of them to score. Probably would have got plus odds.
Probably.
So you know what I mean? It's insane. But anyway, Bengals played well. I mean, the offensive line's got to be better.
Yeah.
Joe Burrow
You
got
can only
beat
survive for
up.
so long. Like,
Yeah.
if you're Joe Burrow
I mean,
and the
I'm
Bengals.
nervous. There was a moment where he got sacked. and
Yeah, I saw that.
you
His
saw
knee,
that.
right?
So he goes down, he gets up slowly, and he goes like this. And I'm like,
He's
"You
grabbing
gotta
at
be
his knee like
fucking
this.
Kidding me, dude? Is that what this is gonna be?"
And I'm like, oh no.
And then he got up slow. He was fine, but I was like, "Oh no!" Like,
So Burrow,
because he was getting beat up. It was
because
so it was
Burrow
important
has a
that he-
chance to put
Yeah.
himself in that upper echelon.
I really, really, really love Joe Burrow.
He's
I like
very,
Joe Burrow, too.
I like Joe
very
Burrow
good
a
at
lot.
football.
Yeah.
And he got knock on wood, he got the early injury out. You know what I mean? It happened his rookie year.
think-
And
I think one of the reasons that I like Joe Burrow so much and a lot of people like Joe Burrow so much is what is his blue chip talent? He doesn't have the shotgun that Josh Allen or Patrick Mahomes possess.
no.
He doesn't have 6'5", 260, built like an inside linebacker that Josh Allen has.
He's not
He's
Lamar
just
Jackson speed.
Good. He's
He
not.
just plays ball.
He's just
Yeah.
a good
Yeah.
reader
Smart.
and pocket
Yeah.
passer.
He's like a Brady.
Don't get me wrong. He could get busy, moving and.
He's
throwing.
like a Brady,
throw
but
the
if
ball
Brady
and
was
run.
25, that's how Brady moved, dude. Like
Yeah.
now. If we took,
I
Right.
think physically he's like the Tom Brady.
back then
comparison.
the game was different, right? So Brady at 25 didn't, back then it was a different game. Brady now turning back the clock, I bet you he'd have a slightly different skill set, but one that's pretty close to Joe Burrow. And I think I think the Bengals are set up now with the rebuild coming for the Steelers, possibly coming for the Browns, possibly, because we don't know with Baker. And the Ravens, Lamar Jackson, little question marks at the end of this
They're
year.
always a few things away. The
Right?
Ravens are always a few pieces
That's
away.
true.
Right.
They're
Yeah.
always.
And Antonio Brown, that's not going to make him a Super Bowl contender. So let's just start with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so as I'm saying, if you're the Bengals, man, I mean, you have the GM of the Bengals has got to have the best job in the world. If they have cap space, which I don't know what they have, can't confirm or deny that they have cap space, but if they do, you add a few pieces on defense and keep building the offensive line. Just keep building it. Just keep fucking. You have 10 years to build the offensive
I
line.
think you gotta shoot up because you got windows in the NFL are smaller than
Yeah,
any
of
other
course.
sport in the world. You gotta shoot up from wherever you're gonna be from 29 to 32 into that top 10, top 15 range, depending on what the Giants do, and get one of these offensive linemen. Because everyone says, "Oh, this draft sucks." Da 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 da. And every time everyone hates on a draft class, what is it loaded with?
Offensive lineman.
Offensive and defensive linemen
Yeah.
that are like multiple tackles in this draft that are 6'6", 300. There's one guy, I forget what school he's from. He's like 6'7", 380, and if he gets his hands on you, you're not getting in the way. Monster in the run block. Monster in the run blocking game. There's a lot of good offensive talent.
But they're there. And as far as the game goes this week, I mean, again, not a trap game, but it's not like 49ers versus Cowboys and Bengals versus Titans. If you called those upsets, guess what, dude? You're not a pro bettor. Like 80% of everybody called those.
I had the teasers in that, and
No,
then when
I
I
had the
made,
Niners bet early.
I know, but I'm just saying, everybody, you felt
least
that.
that
You
was
saw
it.
that coming. Now, impress me this week and call an upset, fine. When I originally were talking about the playoffs in the beginning, when they started, I said that if the Cardinals were able to upset, not saying they would, if they did, which I didn't believe it, but if they did beat the Rams, Brady would be headed to the Super Bowl. And I would have been right. 100%. Because it would have been 49ers versus the Buccaneers.
Yeah.
And that's a game that Brady would win 100% against Garoppolo. That's 100% a game he would win. And he'd be back in the Super Bowl. But it didn't work out that way. The Cardinals fucked it up for him. And that's it. Because they ran into the Rams. And if they didn't run into the Rams, they would have flew right into the Super Bowl. But because you saw that. You saw that there was always that Green Bay. As soon as you saw Green Bay versus San Francisco, you were like, uh-oh, this is weird. I don't like
Yeah.
this. You knew it right away.
For sure.
Yeah.
So,
For sure.
I don't know. That's just how I feel.
Before we break, this is for everyone in the room. If I would have told you before week 1 that the final 4 teams would be Cincinnati, Kansas City, San Francisco, and the Los Angeles Rams, you would say,
Rams Chiefs.
I would say,
Makes sense.
I would say, yeah, 2 out of 4
Yeah.
of them make sense. The other 2?
Not so much.
Well, if you would have told me the Niners were playing in the conference championship game, I would have been like, Trey Lance is phenomenal.
Right.
Right?
Trey Lance won Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like,
You're not more shocked about the Bengals?
I'm more
No.
shocked about the 49ers.
I'm not
Really?
super
I'm more
shocked about the
Bengals.
Bengals.
The 49ers were just in the Super
No,
Bowl.
but they weren't good halfway through the year. They were playing bad
I'm not
football.
super shocked about the Bengals because like Burrow is that dude and he was that dude before he
I'm
got
just
I
hurt.
saying.
didn't think it was going to be that quick.
The 49ers, right?
You think it was going to be year what? Was it year 3 for Burrow?
2.
Year 2.
Two.
Did you think it was
Yeah.
going to be
Two.
year 2?
Yeah. No. But
Absolutely.
No,
the 49ers were a 500 team, right? That honestly, that wasted. This is gonna sound fucked up, but for the current year, wasted 2 picks on Trey Lance and Trey Sermon,
Mhm.
right? And running in place at 500, I'm like, there's no way. There's no way. And then they figured it out and caught fire, and Garoppolo ended up being not that bad this year. So whatever.
I
you know?
also think a lot of people like kind of forget that Garoppolo did get them there once already,
100%.
and when he's healthy, he's not.
He
terrible.
fits the scheme well,
Yeah.
right? Dude, now check it out. You named those 4, and that was the final question, right? Oh my God, who saw those 4 coming, right? But in next week, if it ends up being Chiefs versus Rams, and I told you week 1, hey, Super Bowl's gonna be Chiefs versus Rams, what would you be? You'd be like, that's kosher.
Yeah,
That's
that
all
makes
good.
sense, Yeah.
That's exactly what I figured. Like, so unless we see an upset this week, we got exactly what we thought we were gonna get.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's weird how it all kind of, how many, talking over 4.5 months probably, right? Of this, of a whole football season to come down to exactly what we thought. And I'll tell you what, if it's Rams Chiefs, I'm all for it. Because it's going to it will
fun.
be a good Super Bowl. It will be. You want to say something? Look, you were going to say something.
I think this year, as somebody who hasn't watched football consistently over the past 5 years, the way the NFL is changing is exciting because you see young guys coming in, you see your old guys finishing up or getting close to the end.
Yeah.
Brady and Rodgers have been good in the league decade. Now you see Joe. You got Joe Burrow. 2 decades. 2 decades.
2 decades.
You got Joe Burrow, exciting young quarterback, phenomenal. You have a. I'm not going to say a revolution. There's a reform in the NFL happening, and it's happening now, and it makes me excited to watch more football.
I think that because there's obviously an age gap between me and you. I think that for us, this is the end of our first.
Yeah, I was going to say this is the passing of the torch.
This is our
I feel
first
like
wave of our career, like
the people we grew up watching.
our
are
idols.
now
Let's just
done.
call them
This
our
is
idols.
one of the first big ones, but I can't.
This
I
is the first
Peyton
wave.
Manning for
No.
me.
No,
was one of the
I feel
first
it more
big
now
ones.
than I did with Peyton Manning.
Peyton Manning for me was
Yeah.
one of the first big
because
ones.
because
feel like
I
my
didn't.
childhood is like this is it, man. No one from my childhood is really playing football anymore.
Listen, this is a football podcast. I get it, but
Yeah.
the biggest comparison I can make, and it'll always be like that for me, maybe not for you, probably not, 10-year difference. When LeBron James retires, I'm going to be like, fuck.
Yeah,
He was
Yeah.
pretty damn good,
Yeah,
dude.
we're
I got to
like,
see his whole
holy shit.
career, like attentively watching his whole career. I watched it. Like I was a part of it. Even when I was that young, I was into basketball. Like I was watching
Yeah, well,
it
that's what I'm
actively.
like. I watched pretty
Right.
much just about
Right.
all of Peyton's
Right.
career.
I don't remember his early days, so I don't want to say that he's the first one, but definitely Big Ben, obviously Eli Manning, Phil Rivers. Those guys for me were like Drew Brees. Those were like the
And,
real
like Ray Lewis.
Yeah.
Ray Lewis.
The first
right.
time it really happened for me.
So
was like Ray
now,
Lewis, Peyton Manning.
these young kids, foundation. You're right. Foundation's been set, man. Action Jackson, even him. There's
The
something.
quarterbacks
There's
in the
something for
AFC are
everybody.
frightening.
Oh, there's something
It's
for everybody.
frightening to be a
Yeah,
And-
a
NFL is in a good
quarterbackless
spot
team
right
in the
now.
AFC.
Oh my
right
God!
now.
If you don't have an elite or a franchise quarterback like the Giants, you are in trouble.
Yeah,
You're in trouble, man.
serious trouble.
You're in trouble because these guys are there. They're going to be there for. There's not going to be much quarterback carousel going around between all these young. Like you know what I mean? These guys are there. Herbert is there for the next 10 years. Mark my words. Burrow, mark my words. Lamar Jackson, probably, but we'll say yes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, probably,
Mahomes,
yeah.
mark my words. Allen, mark my words. Trevor Lawrence,
Marking my
probably even Zach Wilson.
Oh,
Yeah.
Zach Wilson's gonna
Um,
fucking come
yeah.
for the league, dude.
Blah, 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 blah.
Zach
Who's the other guy?
attack.
Who's the other guy?
Mac Jones.
No. I even want to say
Fields?
Justin Fields. I even want to say Justin Fields.
If and when
Oh, Mac Jones.
If
They're-
and when
they're
Fields
there.
figures it out, he's gonna be scary too.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So they're there. Like they're there. And then there's the guys who are in the, like again, like the end, Rodgers and this and that. And we might see guys. I'll give you a little spoiler. Jordan Love's good at football. Watch it. Watch it happen.
Okay.
Watch it happen.
Alright.
Jordan Love's good at football.
Another thing too, with the foundation being set, I could see Stafford sticking around 3 years. I see that. I see him being relevant.
Yeah, but that's a reset. Oh, Kyler Murray is another guy that's going to be there 10 years.
Yeah.
That's a reset. After they're done with what they're doing,
Yeah,
and
Stafford's like 34.
and they know
34,
this. They know this. So we said this 2 years ago when we were talking. If we could get Stafford on the Rams, blah, 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 fuck Jared Goff. We've been saying this for literally since we started Parlay-Vous. If we always said he has a shot for 1, maybe 2, and after that,
Oh, I said
sunset riding.
I said multiple.
Yeah, right.
I said multiple.
Sunset riding, and we restart. I mean, everybody, Jalen Ramsey, Von Miller, like Aaron Donald's getting older. You know, you're not,
For you guys, it must be one of the greatest, just like the greatest show on turf, one of the greatest changes of legacy you've probably seen in your lives.
If he finishes the job.
No, he's already rewriting.
I think he's rewriting it already.
I think he's got to
feel a
finish
whole
his
different
job.
way about Matt Stafford.
Do you?
Now.
I always thought he was elite. I just
No. That's not what I'm saying. I feel like there's hope for me for Stafford. I felt like in Detroit he was always going to kill it. He was always going to get the stats, and he was never going to make the playoffs. Now he's still killing it, and he has a team that can bring him to the...
Stafford went from very good stat patter to top 7 NFL quarterback over the course of this season.
another thing I think that is funny is when we were growing up, we had legend. Well, I'm gonna say this, but we had legendary coaching, right? So we had coaches like Tom Coughlin. I'm drawing a blank, but he is a legend. The guy on the Steelers before Tomlin.
Cowher.
Yeah, Cowher.
Coach Bill. Still coaching today, Andy Reid with the Philadelphia
exactly.
Eagles.
I'm trying to think, but there are legendary coaches in this league.
Mike Holmgren,
right?
His entire tree.
And I think,
Daddy Shanahan, who's responsible for how many coaches in the NFL?
Could we call? I don't know how I feel
directly
about,
or indirectly.
I'm not gonna say Pete Carroll. I don't know how I feel. Even Sean Payton, not a legend, but he's obviously Bill Belichick, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
but I think that
Parcells.
We're seeing like I said, another wave of even the coaches, of the elite coaches. We're seeing McVay could be there another 10 years. McVay's, I believe, as elite of a coach as it gets. The guy from Green Bay, who I'm drawing blanks all over the place right now, so finish the job for me.
LaFleur.
Yeah, he's phenomenal.
Yeah,
he might be there
these are all the Shanahan guys.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So he might be there another 10 years too.
McVay, Kyle Shanahan.
So there's
fucking
Salah. These people.
But the offense more specific.
Could you imagine if you don't have a good coach and you don't have a good quarterback? Yikes.
Do you think Zach?
Yeah,
Taylor,
dude, it's called the New York Jets for the last 12 years.
Well, it's been the
What
New
are
York
you
Jets.
talking about?
New York Jets. Been the New York Giants since fucking 2011.
Yeah.
A decade. It's been a decade. We forget. It was a decade ago that they pulled off the miracles.
I don't forget.
Never forget.
There's been a lot of teams that have it way worse. I'm not too upset.
All right, hurry up. We're going to break. Let's go.
Do you think Zach Taylor could write his way into a legacy with what he's got
It's
now?
way too early to ask
Way
that
too
question.
early?
Zach Taylor?
Yeah.
Way too early to answer that question. We're going to a break. All right, guys, listen. Pat McAfee said it best. You got to look good to feel good. You got to feel good to play good. Well, we're going to help you guys look good with Saatchi di Dinero, all right? It's the finest Italian material. It's fire. It's comfortable. And we got a saving for you, all right? You're going to use promo code HAVOC for 10% off your total purchase at SaatchiDiDinero.com. Also, check them out over at Instagram at Saatchi di Dinero. Saatchi di Dinero, always authentic, never counterfeit. What up, everybody? We are back from the commercial break. Going to take a few minutes in the middle here before we address the conference title games to just, discuss other goings-on around the NFL, not necessarily related to the football. Number one on the docket for this segment, are Brittney and Jackson Mahomes the most insufferable duo of all time? And he said he doesn't know much about him, so this is...
Yeah, I don't know much about them. I know people don't like them.
They've officially done it.
Brittney
And I know Patrick Mahomes danced
after they
on.
won,
Yeah.
after they won from the box they're in, the two of them are fucking lacing up the crowd with champagne from the fucking players'
Jesus
box, dude.
Christ. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So just way over the top.
I think if this game happened the same way in Buffalo, one of the two of them doesn't make it out of it
Gets put
alive.
through a table.
Yeah, they're getting maimed, dude.
Not just you're in the what was it, 30-degree weather, and they're in a heated box and they're throwing cold champagne over you. If you're a fan in that section and you were rooting for the Bills, are you not ready to go up into that box?
Try to
and
kill her,
murder
yeah.
Those two?
I think the KC fans were okay with it, but they're becoming the fucking evil empire.
No,
of
she's
the
insufferable.
NFL. The
She's
two of
insufferable.
them are terrible.
She's taken the whole like.
And when she had some like Instagram, like Fitstagram, like clout before Mahomes, like really gave her the clout, but she had like
LOL.
I think 5 figures, like in the 5 figures, which is still something.
Yeah, okay.
So she already had this like influencer mindset, and then they become one of the most famous couples, at least in the sports world, overnight.
The most famous
and
couple
Jackson
is
Mahomes
Jackson
is the
Mahomes.
worst. Dude. He's the worst.
The most famous couple is Jackson and Brittney.
Did you see?
They're the power couple.
Did you see when he wrote the bad Yelp review about a Kansas City bar, and they fucking posted it on Instagram, and then just lit him up,
destroyed him,
about how rude he was,
and then the Sean Taylor thing.
Yeah, he danced on Sean Taylor's number on Sean Taylor Day. Not very smart. Why you just thought this chained off area was the Jackson Mahomes VIP area for fucking doing the
this must be for me.
This is the TikTok.
The big 21 on the ground must be for me. This is where we dance. Like, you know.
You can even see it. He should have been Juju's little brother. You can even see it when
what you gonna say the TikTok with Mahomes?
The TikTok when the 3 of them are at dinner and he's just looking at the 2 of them like,
and Pat's
come
like,
on.
Where can I go?
At what point is
where
enough
do
enough?
I get to?
How do I? Yeah, where can I go?
At what point does Patrick say, "Hey, babe, maybe dial it back a little bit"? And not for nothing, Jackson Mahomes, like what? All God's like one of the greatest. If you created a quarterback in a lab, it would be Patrick Mahomes, and then you have those same genes. What are you good at besides being annoying?
I mean, he's good at something because he's making money being an influencer, but he's just doing it. He's just going about it a way that is upsetting
is there
people.
Any aspect of this that is done by design? 100%. Are they healing it up on purpose? I don't think so.
I think they are.
think they're just really that out of touch.
No, I think clout's an incredible thing. Remember, every time you do something wrong or say something wrong, you get 10 million views instead of 500,000 views. So you have to, it's a weird thing. Like at first, it's
I agree with Hawk. Honestly,
in certain circumstances, yes, but they're getting the clicks regardless because of who they are. That's how
I get it, but like
this didn't start by them becoming insufferable, and then Patrick Mahomes became the second coming. This happened after Patrick Mahomes won the Super Bowl, and now they show they are a part of the pregame show. They show them like during warm-ups and stuff on TV.
But you hear what you're saying, like that's purposeful. That's not on accident. They're doing that on purpose. If you said something on this show that was clipped, and it ended up getting 10 million views, but it was pretty controversial, and some people liked it and some people didn't, right? We got 10 million views off of it, right? Come next week, you would try to say something again controversial to get 10 more million views.
We're not already in the scope of America's.
I understand.
Gun,
listen,
so to speak.
I think it's a bad look for Patrick Mahomes. And the last thing you want of a player of that caliber is to even be thought of as like that recognized.
Brittney Mahomes' husband.
Or no, it's not. But be recognized with negativity. You know what I mean? Off the field negativity.
And I feel bad for Pat Mahomes because Pat Mahomes is becoming this super unlikable guy, but he's really not. He's like a pretty normal guy.
He does 2 things.
He's likable. And he's amazing at playing quarterback.
Well, that's
in the
the
NFL.
problem. He's very good too,
Yeah, but that's not why I'm starting to hate them. Like I don't hate Patrick Mahomes, but I cannot stand seeing his good for nothing, no talent, having 19. However, he's your age. He's like 18, 17, something like that. Acting like he won something. Like
he did. He won the Patrick Mahomes brother lottery, dude. He's the brother of Patrick Mahomes. Well, that's a lottery, dude.
Ultimately, the lottery that they both won was the son of Pat Mahomes.
True.
They were the children of a professional athlete.
I guess, but Pat Mahomes isn't even a fingernail of
talent, a respectable career in the league.
100%.
Respect. I mean, people know who he is. He played for the Yankees, didn't he?
No, Mets.
I'm
just saying that it's you take a guy who's ungodly talented, right? You put him in the spotlight. you bring them to 4 AFC championship championship games, right? Conference championship games, right? 4 straight, right? In the first 4 years of his starting career. Give him all the accolades, give him all the money. 5 years?
Well, 4 years starting.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I didn't realize that's what you meant. I thought
yeah.
you meant starting his career.
No, yeah.
5 because the rookie year.
So you do all that to him, and then you add in this TikTok clout bullshit, and the thing that pissed me off the most is the bar thing, because now you're affecting other people's lives.
Yes,
you want to spray some champagne on fans, I guess. Yeah, if you feel the need to do that, fine. Maybe some of the fans are like, "This is awesome," whatever. But that's fine. But that aspect, that's just crazy.
I think a lot of people in America look at it with like, what did you do? Like when
100%.
he's seller, and I mean not so much her, but more him. It was always Jackson who was the worst, and she just slowly but surely became now they're.
Well, think about it. Jackson doesn't have to do anything. He gets to go to his brother's games, and Brittney's his wife, so whatever, or fiance, whatever, right? Yeah. So, of course they're hanging out all the time. Of course she's probably helping him do TikToks and stuff. It's that's a necessity, but it sucks that we have to have this conversation. Honestly,
I have a lot of opinions, obviously, right? Thing is, kids my age, big into TikTok, he is just as unbearable and obnoxious as 6ix9ine before the case. It is that bad. Every time I see this guy, I want to punch him in the face as hard as I can.
But no, because 6ix9ine did something of value. He made music, and you say what you want, but he sold out buildings wherever he went. So say what you want about him. He had a service that he offered.
Listen, I'm not going to shy away from the fact that I bump some 6ix9ine sometimes.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to be that guy. Sometimes when I'm looking for something that hits hard in the car, I throw on some 6ix9ine, dude. That's just how it is. I ain't throwing on Jackson Mahomes TikToks. So, a little bit of a difference.
Power to you. Power to you.
Just saying.
For me, as someone who doesn't listen to 6ix9ine, that's my comparison. Some people may agree, some people may
But do
disagree.
you see athletes doing this too? Chase Claypool, not saying he's insufferable, not saying that I don't, not that I really don't care, but he's on TikTok. Juju Smith-Schuster's on TikTok. Like, athletes are finding other avenues. And I know he's not an athlete, but people, they do what they can to make money. Like, that's just how it is. I'm telling you right now, you'd be surprised, especially at a 19-year-old kid, 20-year-old, whatever he is, regardless if he's Patrick Mahomes' brother or not. You take a 19-year-old kid, you put him in the limelight, you get him a couple views, you get people of his age or younger craving over him, wanting to be in his videos, sign autographs, things like that. People start giving you shit for free because you're Patrick Mahomes' brother. These are all facts. Like, these things all happen. This guy walks into a bar and he's Patrick Mahomes' brother, and not that bar, but I'm saying a bar, not that instance. A lot of times those bars are going to cater hand and foot for him in hopes that Patrick shows up one day and makes their bar. That's just how it is, unfortunately. It's all facts. So you take that kid, and like I said, 19, 20 years old, and of course he's going to have this complexion. Of course he's going to. It's really a shame that Patrick isn't like, yo, chill the fuck out, bro. This is my career. Like,
who knows?
He might, but he ain't stopping the kid. Beat him up, dude.
Brother, have a little tussle.
Yeah, dude. Can't you send like Josh Gordon on him, or like maybe Josh Gordon's probably he's pretty big. Oh, they did yesterday, right? All right. Can't you send Matthew on him and be like, yo, could you like beat my brother up a little bit? I gotta watch my arm.
Smack him yourself with the left hand.
Whatever.
You throw a ball fucking fast enough.
I'm just saying, So yeah, I agree with you.
I don't want to say I hate them because hate's a strong word.
You don't even know them, but yeah.
And you don't even know them. I cannot stand their antics.
Yeah.
I hate their antics. I hate their persona.
What sucks for me too is like this is everybody. You never know the good they do in the world.
100%.
And it's amazing because like a guy like, let's just say, and I don't know if this is accurate or not, I'm just saying, a guy like Terrell Owens, where you see all his on the field antics and who he is and the crime, and remember, that's my quarterback and blah blah, all that stuff, right? But like that guy
saw that meme today,
right? But that guy could donate $1 million a year to charity. You wouldn't even know it, and that's just how it is. So you just don't know. But yeah, I agree. The antics it's over the top, and it's a bad look for Patrick Mahomes. And I'm sure, not positive, but I wouldn't be shocked if somebody in the Chiefs organization was like, "Yo, it needs to stop," or they're not going to be able to come to the games, or They're not going to be able to be on the
Problem
field
is
before the game.
they just keep winning. Like if they weren't finding the success they were, if this
Yeah,
season
it would be an
spiraled
issue, yeah.
when they were sputtering a little bit, and we were like, oh, Chiefs, oh,
He's
I
getting a
don't
little ahead
know.
of himself. Blah
Yeah,
blah blah.
If
Yeah.
they spiraled when they started sputtering instead of turning it around and doing what they've done,
I mean,
you know, winning is the ultimate cure-all, especially in pro
100%.
sports.
You're 1,000,000%
So,
right. That's what happened with Pittsburgh Steelers. Everyone's dancing, having a great time, dancing on the logos, disrespecting. We're gonna put in quotes other teams by dancing on their logo pregame, right? And it was all good because they were 11-0. That was last season, right?
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then
No dancing this year.
then it
dude.
fell. No, but then even then
They
it
left the
fell
shoes at
apart.
home.
Hey, dancing shoes at home,
Yeah, they
dude.
left them at
That's it.
home.
So I don't know. I agree. It's pretty insufferable. I really like to not see it anymore. But again, like guys like us, we don't have to. And there's always going to be not a market for him, but he's always going to be able to market himself because he's Mahomes' brother, because he holds the keys to this. Because Patrick holds the keys to the city. So there is that, right? And there's always going to be people his age or younger. There's a bunch of 17, 18-year-old girls, guys that are like, I want to be like him. I want to hang out with him. I want to get on TikTok with him. It's true, unfortunately. Not guys like us. We're like, if I met that kid, I wouldn't even want to go up to him. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even care if I saw him in the bar. Wouldn't even look twice. Pat, on the other hand, I would go up to. What do you think?
I didn't care about them going into the segment. I don't really care too much about them now.
Yeah, so
if they
it's-
went away, it would just be what it is.
but
honestly.
by the way, this is all I'll say about it, and I'm done. Guys like us are the guys who are spending the money to go to the games if we're from Missouri, and we're spending the money on
That's true.
jerseys, and we're spending we you know, our age, not us necessarily,
Yeah.
paying the cable package, paying the Sunday ticket, paying for Red Zone,
Mm-hmm.
buying the fucking program. 17, 18-year-old, 19-year-old kids aren't doing that.
They don't even know.
Typically, they don't.
There are people out there. Listen to this. This is the last thing I'm going to say on it because I want it to stick. There are people out there that don't know who Patrick Mahomes is and know Jackson Mahomes. There are people out there in this world that said, "Oh, Jackson Mahomes' brother plays football." There are people out there, and that's it. That's all I got to say because that's accurate. That's crazy.
100%. Have we seen Tom Brady's last game?
No.
I don't think so either. I don't.
Little cryptic,
He's just doing it for fun.
little bit of cryptic nonsense. All right, so follow-up question.
Okay.
You saw he tweeted today, right? Like
No.
he tweeted some cryptic bullshit.
You referenced Kobe and how like you never know when life's life and
Blah,
when it's
blah,
gonna
blah, blah,
end
blah.
and when you gotta cherish the time with family and this and that.
Maybe it
and that.
is. I don't know.
But he finished with, "I'm not making my decision yet. Stay tuned."
So his
So
contract's up. Bucks are in salary cap hell as it is without his money on the books.
Yeah, but he'll come back for.
Is
cheap.
there a third team?
now, all right. Now that's a spicy fucking question.
Yeah,
now let
that
me
came out of
now
nowhere.
let me just throw. let me
Yes.
just- okay, now
Okay.
You want an
If we're
answer?
gonna
Go.
do this, yeah.
going back home, not his pro football
Going.
We're
Back-
talking about to Detroit.
to San Francisco.
Wow.
Come on, dude.
I thought he was Michigan.
Going
where he went to
back.
school.
No, he's from
To
San.
Cali.
I
Grew,
realize
he
what
grew
you're
up a
saying.
Yeah.
Niners fan.
That would be interesting.
Dude, let Jimmy go or trade him. I'm pretty sure
Well-
his expired contract anyway.
Well, right. You know that was his first choice, right?
San Fran was. Yeah.
And they said no. And then when he beat them, right? Remember what he said? You chose that fucking guy over me. That's what he said post game. You chose that fucking guy over me. That's what he yelled on the field when the game ended after he beat them.
It's tough.
Chose that fucking guy over me. Well, I mean, they're in a pretty good spot right now.
They are.
But I could see it. I just don't. I don't want Brady's legacy to be that. I don't. I really don't want him like team jumping at the end. And I don't know. Whatever. I mean, it's cool. I'd like to see him play again because like he's the greatest.
I think if he plays Tampa Bay,
Undeniably.
probably brings him back. But
yeah.
just something to think about.
I don't think Gronk retires.
Do
I don't.
No, I think Gronk's done.
I think
Yeah, I
Gronk's
think he
done.
calls it.
I think he's having too much fun. I think
I
He's
think-
back in
I
Bro's
think
range
Gronk
this
always.
season.
I think Gronk always has fun, and there are plenty of other things he can do that are fun that make big money that don't put him in the hospital, like his
I mean, yeah, that's true.
USAA commercial.
Yeah, but that all goes away when
and
you're.
his WWE
does not
stuff,
go away.
and
Well-
that will not go away for
Does not
Gronk.
go away.
And he will always
Gronk's a
have a
name.
job.
It's a name.
He will
He'll
always have a job.
but
No. In this form of media, whether it be podcasting or it be in a booth or on the field for Fox, CBS,
I agree. Yeah.
ESPN, and he would have fun doing that too. Because when have you ever seen Gronk not having fun when he's in the limelight?
When he's on the Patriots.
Yeah, but no, not even that. Because even when he was playing, he was
I know what
having,
you're saying.
no.
I know what you're saying. Yeah, okay, I can agree with that.
The Gronk spike is born out of fun.
Listen,
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick by my decision. I don't think he retires. I don't think Brady retires, but I definitely don't think he retires, regardless of the fact.
I think if Brady retires, Gronk definitely retires.
All right. I mean,
Yeah, if Brady retires, Gronk
Why
retires
would he
without a
stick
doubt.
around? He came back for Brady.
yeah, but I think he also made connections out there, and I don't think that the Buccaneers are ran like the Patriots. I think he is enjoying
Playing football.
football
I can
in
see
the
that.
nice weather. He's not, like
yeah, he's in a good spot.
so it is a little different. You know what I mean? He's not expected to catch 90 passes for 13 touchdowns. He's not that not that he's not that guy because he's still a good tight end, but he's not. He's not. You know what I mean? Like the expectation is lower now. You know what I mean? Even with or without Brady coming into next season, even fantasy owners are going to be like, well, Gronk's an okay receiver. He's a spot start tight end. Like, one more year older. I don't know. It's not.
I still wouldn't. Maybe after this year, I would call him a spot start tight end.
Yeah, after this year. Yeah.
This year, he's been pretty good.
Yeah, but he gets hurt a lot, and
He's hurt a lot. He's been used more in the blocking game since he's been.
It all depends on if he wants to take a pay cut and the whole nine and how much his salary is and all that shit depends on But for a couple of million, Tampa Bay would want him back, and for a couple of million, if he's willing to spot with Cameron Braid and OJ Howard and kind of be like not play every down. I mean, yeah, he's an asset, and if he wants to do that, sure, one more year, whatever, regardless if it's with Brady or not.
I don't see it.
Whatever. Next, what do you got?
Brian Dable conducted his second interview with the New York Giants today.
Mm-hmm.
Would it be a good hire? Let me right now. Wake up tomorrow morning.
Right,
breaking news.
Hold on. All right, go ahead.
Bleacher Report on your phone. Breaking news. New York Football Giants hire former Bills offensive coordinator Brian Dable as their new head coach.
All right, so I'm going to screenshot it.
All right.
And I'm going to send it to you.
It's fantastic.
That's usually how it goes.
and then I'm going to say, that's fucking sweet. What do you think? And then you're going to be like, should have gave Brian Flores a shot.
I'm not going to say that.
I would have said that.
Am I going to be mad? No, I won't be mad. My number one choice is Brian Flores. If I can't get Brian Flores, it's not a bad number two. I want a head coach that's been a head coach.
I think.
Is that fucked up to say?
I mean, everybody's not a head coach at some point.
Yeah.
No, I get it, but it's like the job market now. I need 10 years experience.
Yeah, okay, that's fine.
How do I get experience if I don't get hired? Well, figure it out, kid.
Would you rather have had Mike McCarthy over McVay or Shanahan or
No, I'm
LaFleur?
not. You're right, 100%. I'm not saying that, but I just feel like there's a proven young coach out there.
Dan Quinn. What about Dan Quinn? He's the other
makes
one.
me nervous because he didn't want to be there in Atlanta at the end, and I know everybody's situation's different. I just don't like that. I don't like the coach giving up on the team. I feel weird about it. So he kind of said that's how he publicly stated he wasn't into it coaching, and he fell out of love with the game.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
right.
He's
So
loving it. He loved it again. Fell back in love
yeah,
in Dallas.
don't love that that happens. I feel like I'd like a lot like Lions coach or even the Jets coach. They bring gas. I want that guy. Not saying I need an ultra hypersensitive coach, but a guy that's regardless of whether we're 1-16, I'm going to play hard. And that's what Brian Flores' teams do. They play hard. We know that. And I don't want to say they win, but they win more than the Giants have won lately. And they compete. They hang around, right? And they aren't. I mean, I don't want to say that the Dolphins weren't talented, but they weren't top talent, and they won. So I'm just saying from that perspective, if you could get that guy, well, why not get that guy? On the other hand, the offensive coordinator on the Bills did a lot with a little. That's how I feel. Saquon Barkley is better than any running back that this guy would have had dealt with. That's a fact. He's better than Singletary. I mean, he might not be the next Emmitt Smith like we thought he was, but you know what I mean? Or LaDainian Tomlinson like we thought he was, but he's still wildly talented, right? And like I said, I wasn't joking a few weeks ago when I said that. They really need a new medical staff. Like if the team stays healthy, like Kenny Galladay is a good receiver. You can't knock that. So you put an offensive coordinator, right, who's balling out with the Bills, did well with the Bills. You put him in this situation, and you say, we're going to air it out. We're going to open it up. We're going to do the damn thing. I don't know. It could work, but they got to stay healthy. And, I don't know. What would you do? How do you feel about it?
Are they going to, if they can make Daniel Jones work, then I think it's fine. But therein lies the question.
I think Brian Dable gives you the best shot
to make Daniel Jones work.
To get the most out of Daniel Jones and to find out what the most Daniel Jones has to offer is. And I mean, it makes sense to roll with him for one more year.
No,
I don't want to get the clip snipped from the production, so I can't say what I want to say. But Daniel Jones is literally Josh Allen, just like a D level Josh Allen.
Diet Josh Allen.
Yeah.
He's like the RC Cola of Josh Allen.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, so that's how I feel.
I hope he comes in. Daniel Jones looks great. We can start using Kenny Galladay for what we signed him for, and it all works.
I just don't think that's gonna. I don't know.
I don't think it's gonna happen either.
Again, I mean, if it was the difference between, like, I don't know, if Flores came in and said right away, "Hey, Jones he's not the guy," right away, right? And what do? They trade for Baker Mayfield.
No.
Cry.
They're not going to do that. They're not going to
cry.
They're not going to do that.
You know what I'm saying?
They're going to absolutely roll with Daniel Jones one more year. Giants fans, I'm sorry if you don't want to hear that, whether you want to hear it or not, unless they think that they can make a splashy play a la the Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers kind of a move. Or if Jimmy G winds up, I think Jimmy G could be there and not be the starter regardless.
Yuck.
I think he could.
Jimmy G's coming. I think Jimmy G's coming back.
I'm just saying it's an option. But unless they make, and I don't think they would do this either, because what are you going to give up to get a Russell Wilson? Or you don't have to make a trade for Aaron Rodgers, but you got to make space because they have no salary cap space. So you got to start cutting some guys. I don't see them doing that because that's not the way the Giants have ever done it. And when they started doing it about 2016, a la Dave Gettleman, what's happened? We have no cap space, no young talent. No, everything that's the Giants have been about the last 40 years, they've strayed away from. So I think they're gonna go back.
I think it's also like a coach has the same opportunity to choose his fit, right? So a guy like a first-time head coach, like I said I didn't want, but a guy like a first-time head coach could say, hey, this is a good opportunity for me. I have some pieces around I feel like I could work with. I know I'm 2 years away from something really happening, but, from being competitive in that sense. But whatever. Maybe a guy like Brian Flores is like, no, listen, I'm going to wait my opportunities out. And I'm going to choose the best situation. The Raiders are a better situation than the Giants right now.
Right, but the favorite that Flores is connected to right now is Houston, and barring, assuming that someone has an inside track of information on Deshaun Watson, that's probably the best situation.
Yeah, if Deshaun Watson plays, they're better than the Giants.
If Flores signs and Deshaun Watson comes back to play,
they're a playoff
they're
team.
A playoff team.
Borderline playoff team.
No, they're probably a playoff team.
Borderline. Don't say playoff team. Take it easy.
Deshaun Watson sits out 1 year, and we're acting like he's not that fucking dude.
No,
bro.
He's that dude, but there's other players. Like, I don't. We gotta reverse the Bill O'Brien effect here, dude. We got Bill O'Brien disease.
Dude,
we're getting treated over here. We're in remission. We're in remission from Bill O'Brien disease.
Zip it.
Before we get too far away from the Giants, there are so many questions, and there's plenty of decisions to be made that it's very hard to call what could happen or what do we think is going to happen. Everybody had a different. Oh, we could go for the Russell Wilson or the Aaron Rodgers. Oh, who's the head coach are we bringing? There's so many question marks that's very hard to see what direction they're going to go in until the first move happens. It's
right, but it's like the Giants are so incomplete that it makes zero sense. One, that a Rodgers or a Russell would want to go there. Rodgers counted out because Rodgers
that'll be a tough one.
Rodgers isn't coming into
He's
the
not
Giants.
going to the Giants.
Count that one out.
If you're gonna go
Russell-
big fish, if you're gonna go shark hunting, right, or shark fishing, you better go first. If they're the Giants and you're gonna go get Russell Wilson, or you're gonna try to Deshaun Watson, or whatever you're gonna do, you better go first and set the market. Don't be the guy. You have 2 first-round picks in the top 10. Go first, go hard, get who you got to get, and that's it. If the market gets set before the Giants make a move, there will be no move. That's just how it is. That's just how it is. Facts. And he's right. Daniel Jones, let's just face facts as Giant fans here, Brian, that he's going to be here another year. Do I hate it? No, we're not going to win regardless.
They will not pick up the 5th-year option when the time comes because why would you do that and to pick up another $18 million or so, $15 million or so
No.
guaranteed for the 5th year? So it's going to be a one, play for it, either play to come back or play for your contract elsewhere.
Yeah. 100%. 100%.
Brian?
I'm
Anything?
fully prepared to watch Daniel Jones do it again this year. It's just the way it is. If we wind up with Russell, I'll buy a
Go
jersey
Hawks.
Well,
I
what-
can be
so
amped about it, but-
So what you're hoping on there is that the price isn't as much as we think it's going to be, and Russ wants to come to New York, one, because it's a good location for life after football and for his wonderful wife Sierra to play. Vegas is,
Yeah, I know. Perform, yeah,
perform,
whatever,
whatever. Vegas is another one because she could get a residency in Vegas if she wanted it, but you have to hope that that's something he's interested in, and the prospect of turning the New York Giants around, which I think is all.
That seems like a Russell Wilson type of
but
thing.
it's all you're
Like, he
asking for
prides
a
himself
lot.
on being a leader.
You're
Right, yeah,
asking
you
to
are.
line up a lot, and the team. What was Russell's problem for the last 8 years? They didn't protect him. The Giants rather. Excuse me, I misspoke. If I'm the Giants, I'm going 5-7, tackle. 2 offensive tackles.
Get booed by all the fans, and then
yeah, but,
that's it. No, that's just gonna happen. No, that's fine.
and you do just
If that happened, I'd be like, sweet, great, amazing, awesome. Do something, build some foundation here, and let's do this
That's what I'm
thing.
saying.
Yeah.
You can't 5-7 cannot be part of a deal to go get Russell Wilson. Not the way this team is set up right now. You can't do it.
No,
You can't do
you're
it.
right.
You need those.
We need the
picks.
line.
Andrew Thomas is not a lost cause.
The only way, no, but you go tackle.
No,
one
but-
of them slides into guard.
No,
whatever.
but I'm saying, so there's already a chance for young pieces there on the offensive line that have to grow into it. If you take 2 more linemen, maybe 3 in the entirety of the draft, right? Okay, now we're kind of doing something. What happens if we fucking protect Daniel Jones just a little bit and have an offensive coordinator who's a little creative,
Yeah.
not a piece of white bread, a piece of fucking toast, lightly toasted, dude. Like if you put toast in the toaster and took it out 30 seconds in, that's what it was with fucking Jason Garrett. So give me some pizzazz, give me something, get guys open.
Give me something to get excited about.
Yeah, I
damn
mean
it.
Kenny Galladay, how does Justin Jefferson get all these 3-yard outs, right? 3-yard slants, drag routes. Just get Galladay involved. Just get him involved. If he's really that up and away your best offensive player
Get him
when
the ball.
Barkley's not in or whatever, or even Barkley, get the ball in their hands. Be creative. I mean, we see teams do it.
Yeah, but also Kirk Cousins for all his pitfalls, veteran quarterback. You don't
The
want
fuck
to.
does that mean?
It means when you have a young guy, especially a young guy who's underperforming, you don't want to have him in his own head about trying to force feed.
No, not force feed the ball, but set
I
him
agree.
up for
Find
success.
ways to get him the ball.
Yeah,
I agree.
set him up for success. What's next?
This is my last one, and I don't want to get too much into it because by the time the Super Bowl rolls around, a lot of these pieces are going to fall into place, and we're going to have plenty of time to fill anyway with content. But these are the 9. These are the 9 current vacancies, head coaching vacancies. The New York Giants, Miami Dolphins, New Orleans Saints as of today, Chicago Bears, Minnesota Vikings, Denver Broncos, and the Jacksonville Jaguars. The question is, what is the most desirable job?
Give me that.
Yeah,
paper.
read that list. What?
Yeah.
Giants, Dolphins, Bears, Saints.
Denver, not even close, in my opinion.
I think Denver with the chance that you get
You think
Rodgers.
You think a quarterbackless Denver team over Trevor Lawrence in Jacksonville?
Yeah.
If they pull you in the office and they go,
Yeah.
we're making a
As far as
run
we
in
know,
Aaron.
dude, Marvin's still starving. So that's all I know.
Marvin's been starving for years,
Dude,
dude.
Marvin has been starving, dude. And we got Moonshot over there, so I don't know. There's a lot going on, Moonshot Mooney's, he's up there. I mean, listen.
He's up there in the mid.
If you're gonna
echelon of
franchise
number
tag
two
Allen
receivers.
Robinson again,
Don't do that.
I don't want any
Stop.
part of. I don't want any part of the Bears. I don't. I really don't. I think Denver's the best opportunity. They're the best team. I think out of all of them moving forward. I don't know how their cap situation is. I guess if I really wanted to break it down, I look at all the cap spaces and kind of figure it out that way. The Vikings is not a bad one because you have Dalvin Cook. Thielen's 32. That makes me
But you got
feel a
Justin
little weird.
Jefferson.
Justin Jefferson's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Defense is okay. It's aging.
And KJ Osborne seems like
KJ Osborne was pretty
Kirk
good.
Cousins for much of the year put up MVP like numbers.
100%. But is he a free agent? He signed
I don't
three.
think he is at the end of this year. I think
Thought he
it's
was.
next year.
3
Thought it
years,
was next
$84
year.
million. He signed guaranteed. Remember
Oh,
full.
really?
Remember he was the full
it's
guaranteed.
Wow,
3
has it
years.
been
It was
3 years
90
already?
something million.
Yeah. No, it's been 3 years, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
It was
Wow.
90 something million though.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, if you could get a top tier quarterback.
Denver seems like they've been plug and play. If you could get the hardest thing to find in professional American
Like,
sports.
yeah.
You just find a fucking diamond in the rough.
Yeah, dude. It's
Yeah.
like some guy just walks in the door.
Kenny Pickett,
What is his name? Huntley?
Ty Huntley from Baltimore.
Tyler Hunt.
Just saying. So that's
It's
it.
bold.
I mean, listen, let's just do it really quick. I know because we have to do it. Let's just do it. You don't even have to really get into detail about it. Where does Rodgers play next season? All four of us get one pick.
One.
Yeah, and you can't. I know what I'm going to say. No one's going to say, so it's fine. So I'll go first. Indianapolis Colts.
Brian, you go.
I have two.
Well, then maybe you should go last.
All right, I'll go last.
You can't say Colts, but you can look into the camera.
I'm not going to say Colts. Next football season, Aaron Rodgers will be working for, and I guess you could say playing for, the Pat McAfee show. Retires, takes a full-time job with Pat.
All right.
That's it. Him and his wife both
That
gonna
is
work in
that
Hollywood.
is that is the hottest take. It makes me want to fucking flip the chair. Like that's how
Don't do
bad.
that.
That's how bad. That take is so fucking hot. Get the fire extinguisher out. I clip that.
We'll save that for later.
We're gonna freezing
and
cold take that in 5 weeks.
Okay.
Go ahead. I don't think so, unless you know something we don't. But I'm pretty sure no one here is an insider. Go ahead. Maybe Jack.
No, I don't know something we don't know. I just think everybody is overlooking the idea that he's 39 years old and he largely looked like he didn't want to do it at times this year. Despite the fact that he had an MVP caliber season, he largely at times and
He's
most
bored,
of that playoff game, okay, great. You can't be bored at 39 years old and be like retirements. You made all the money. You won the Super Bowl. How many people want to keep doing that? Not everyone's Tom Brady, dude. 39 is amazing that you're still playing at the
Yeah, I
level
hear
he is.
you. But there's a big difference between
We're
Aaron Rodgers
overlooking
and
the possibility of Aaron not wanting to be a guy who team jumps at the end of his career and just decides he's gotten what he's gotten out of it.
Okay.
There's no way his wife wants to spend half the year living wherever he's got to live, especially Green Bay,
before
Wisconsin.
you say something, he's been slighted by the Packers. He
Agree with
the
that.
first couple years of his career he didn't play, so his age is 39, but it doesn't feel 39, right? We could say that. Him and Ben Roethlisberger, like he could play. Ben Roethlisberger was tough to watch at the end. Eli Manning was tough to watch at the end. He could play ball.
There's an old adage.
Yeah, leave out on top. Yeah,
No,
yeah.
not even that.
Oh, okay,
Just because you can do it doesn't mean you should do it.
he can do it. He should do it.
Go ahead, Jack.
As per your statement, as per the Pat McAfee show, Aaron Rodgers loves life and enjoys playing football and has for the past 2 years. His entire lifestyle has
Of
changed.
course, he's gonna fucking say that.
Yes.
Where is he
hairstyle.
playing next year?
Yeah, let's
Aaron
go.
Rodgers is playing for the Denver Broncos next year, slinging balls to guys named Cortland Sutton and Jerry Jeudy, and Devontae Adams is going to go somewhere else. I think it's time.
Franchise tag for Devontae, for sure.
Stop.
He's going to get franchise tag.
Stop. I'm gonna do what you did to me.
It was-
Shush.
It was already too spicy. Now we're getting.
Zip it. That's what you did. Zip it. Brian, where is he
When
going?
a problem comes along, you must zip it.
Devontae Adams is
go.
headed to Barstool Sports on a 5-year, $100 million. Where? Go ahead.
Aaron Rodgers next year will be playing for the Pittsburgh Steelers.
That's a
Slinging
spicy one.
balls to Chase Claypool.
That's a
Juju
spicy one.
Smith-Schuster.
With the
I'm just
Yinzers,
pissed
huh?
that I didn't say slinging balls to
Slinging balls. He's
to
gonna
Michael
have
Pittman
Najee
and-
Harris in the backfield.
Jonathan
He's
Taylor.
gonna
And
have
Zach
Chase
Pascal.
Claypool, Juju Smith-Schuster,
Okay.
and Deontay Johnson.
Okay, cool. I'm okay with that.
And a semi-decent defense, we'd say.
Yeah, but Deontay Johnson's a free agent, and so is Juju. Not saying they
Yeah.
can't retain them, but they are free agents.
Well, if the Steelers sign Aaron Rodgers, I feel like it would probably have a little pull on,
What about they let Deontay Johnson walk?
and they take Devontae, and they get Devontae in black and
What
gold,
do you think of that?
and they fucking blow
And
up.
Mike Thomas.
That's
Mike
the
Tomlin
number
is
one
like,
selling
Are
jersey.
you fucking ready?
Devontae
for all
Adams
that's
in
about
black
to
and
happen?
gold is a number one selling jersey
It's
in the
probably
country.
so tough looking.
That is
It's
And
probably
hard.
so
You know that guy on
tough-looking
TikTok?
jersey.
What about
Hard.
What about the
Yeah,
the
dude.
fucking the throwback, the all
Oh,
black
God.
with just the yellow numbers?
Yeah, it's gonna.
That's
look
a tough fucking look.
dude.
I mean, if we're fantasy booking, that's
And
not
if-
bad.
It's not bad
That's
at all.
not bad.
Not
What
bad
about
at all.
Okay, I know Colts can't do it because they have to get rid of Wentz, but if they, his contract. But if they could do that and get Devontae and Aaron Rodgers and
Oh, that's
And Najee Harris on a rookie contract.
no.
No,
He's talking
no,
about the
no.
Colts.
Talking about
I'm
the
saying
Colts.
if Jonathan
Oh,
Taylor,
Jonathan Taylor,
Michael Pittman,
Oh.
Aaron Rodgers, and Devontae Adams on the go,
just-
that is instant.
Carson Wentz gets beat up by another person.
Oh
again.
my God, that's instant. But he
I
has a
don't-
year on his deal. It's
I
$20
don't-
million cap
I'm
hit.
getting chills right now.
I don't buy the Colts.
McAfee.
I don't believe the Colts.
Why? You know,
I just don't see it.
they're good, dude. They're just not
I
great.
don't see Rodgers going
Oh,
there.
okay. Well,
That's what I mean. Not I don't buy the Colts.
Oh.
I don't buy Rodgers going to the Colts.
all right. Well,
Here's what Jonathan Taylor says to Carson Wentz every day of the season. Every day of the season. Hey, Carson, you want me to drive for you like I always do? That's what Jonathan Taylor said to Carson Wentz every Sunday.
really?
110%.
Now listen, Carson Wentz didn't have a bad year. He
No,
didn't.
He did not.
No, but he fell apart when it mattered. Ready to take a break?
Yeah.
All right.
It's a new year, and with the new year comes new resolutions. And what's going to help you complete the resolutions that you set forward for yourself this year? Inspiration. And we have just the company for you that's focused around inspiration. Head on over to staythirstyco.com and put in the code HAVOC to get 15% off on your next order. And make sure you take a look over at the Winter 2022 collection. That's staythirstyco.com. Drop the OY and focus on you.
We are back, guys, as always. Best way to support the show is to support the sponsors and to give us the follow, the like, the subscription on YouTube and the socials, Instagram at HOH Podcasting, TikTok at House of Havoc Podcasts as well. And now let's get into the championship games. First one, I assume it's going to be the NFC Championship game at 3:30. I can only assume.
You
Based
don't
on-
have to assume
Based on what I know
because
from
we have our stats analyst right here.
we got producer baby boy Jack.
He's gonna tell us which game happens first before I tell him
With
because
this
that would
half
be
of
weird
an
if I tell
iPhone.
him first.
He's got a half of a screen on his iPhone.
All right, then that's pretty useless. Here we
Tremendous.
go. At 3:00 on Sunday, the Bengals will play the Chiefs.
I said NFC. No,
Yeah, you said NFC.
wow. That's I mean that's surprise. I mean I guess 3:00 is probably a better time slot than 6:00.
Mm.
But had this been the old 1-4-20 deal,
I
this
think
would
it has some.
definitely
I think
be
it
the
has some. You
4:20
know what I
game.
think it has something to do with? Time zones,
That would make sense.
Well,
right?
yeah, because if you
because
think
that game's starting at 3:30 where the teams are from.
Mm-hmm. I think that's perfect. Like that's the only
yeah,
reason why.
that does
Anyway,
make sense.
So CBS is going to host this game. 3:00 start. Bengals at the Chiefs. We're not guessing the lines because there's only two of them and they're pretty obvious.
This one's 3.5, right?
They've been no 7. This is the
Oh, I'm sorry, 3.5 the other games.
yes. Well,
Yeah.
spoiler 3.5. is the game.
Spoiler, yeah.
But anyway, over under for this is 54.5 points.
It's wild.
So
Same over as the Bills Chiefs game, and
Bill-
that one smashed.
yep.
Yep.
So start us off, B-Rye. Spreads -7. Who do you like? What do you like?
Over 54.5 seems, I don't know.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot. But like Hawk said, they did hit it last week with the Bills and the
And there's going to be even less defense.
And I was going to say, and it doesn't strike me that either of these defenses will be any better. So would it surprise you if we get to 56, 57? I'm not saying we're shattering 54, but
Well, let's just say this:
Over's
21 degrees and sunny.
okay, so cold, but not anything that's going to
It's
affect
good.
the
That's
ball being
good. That's
thrown.
good football
yeah, that's
weather.
What I'm saying. That's
Yeah.
fine. I think your over's fine. The -7. I like Bengals +7.
Am I reading this wrong?
What's that?
Is it 21 or is it 51?
That looks
would
like
think
that's
it's
a
20.
low of 21 with a high of 51.
That's a
is
very
how that works.
large margin for weather.
Well,
So they don't know yet.
weather,
Saturday.
dude. No one has to be less good at their job and stay employed than weathermen.
No, yeah, I understand.
We
that.
know
Anyway,
this.
so there's a
Yeah.
there's a
So,
gap there. Go ahead.
I think the over 54.5 is probably fine with the weather and less defense, like we were saying. I like Bengals +7. I think even if they don't get to the Super Bowl, I think they'll still cover. I feel like it's too much. They beat the Chiefs in the regular season.
Yeah,
It's
I think
not
I
like,
think I think
you
we're
know, like-
disrespecting Joe Cool a little bit too much here.
I mean, I thought honestly.
I don't think
I was
they're-
gonna say I would thought the spreads would be swapped, but that would be kind of disrespectful. But I think it'd be more closer to. I feel like it'd be 3.5 for both games.
the only reason why, well, we'll get into that one when we get to that one, but why that's 3.5.
Right,
I
right.
believe.
So what I'm saying is, I could see this game probably being closer to 3.5. 4, 7 seems like a lot to me. But I don't know. Vegas likes the Chiefs when they win. It seems.
Yeah.
So
I feel like the thought on 7 is that this game could get away from Cincy early, right?
they played
And
catch-up
you
game.
want to have that touchdown, but again, you don't want to make that number too high and scare away action. So this is why we left it, and it's an even 7, right? It's not even 7.5.
No.
So you're right in the get the common fan to play zone at 7, because even if it's a touchdown, you push, you get your money back. What I think, first of all, they did beat them already, and they laid out the blueprint for how you beat them. I don't think many teams are going to beat this Chiefs team. I don't want to say Mahomes because you never know what the team is going to look like for the rest of his career.
yeah.
This Chiefs team in this 4-year run, I don't think many teams are going to beat them twice in the same season. So that scares me a little bit. My heart says Bengals money line, but I'll tell you what my brain says is this is tailor-made for a teaser. You take that 7 down to 1 for your -110 odds, and then throw it with whatever you like. Maybe take the over-under down to 48.5 in this game. Maybe tease the other game on an over-under. But I think it's tailor-made for the tease at 7.
Yeah, could.
I would love to
It
see the
could be.
Bengals win this game, and they could
So
win
you're
this
saying,
game.
but all right. So you're saying Chiefs. Then you're saying Chiefs.
Yeah,
I don't. I think it's
but I think
to
these,
tease it. To
the
tease it up. You're
sharp
not supposed
play-
to tease it up to 13, but you could. That's also makes me feel good. Some notes of the game is 33% of the bets are on Bengals +7. 67. This is according to DraftKings. 67% is on KC -7, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And then the over/under, we got 74% of the bets are on the under. It opened at 53.5, so obviously there was initial that tells you
hammering.
initial money was on over. Now it's kicked back to under, or the big bets were on the over. So the volume might be on the under, but the money is on the over, right? So that's what we know by looking at that. Are you listening? Because you're going to learn something right now. Now we're actually breaking down the games.
Teach me.
Money line 7% is on the Bengals at +260. They opened at 250, so there's probably not big money going there right now. 93% at -335. I got the Bengals. One more note here: Bengals against the spread this year are 9-4-2. KC against the spread is 5-10-1.
Yeah,
Before reading all of that information, it says 46 clear skies, 5-mile-an-hour wind, and with that being said, I take the Bengals +7 here, and I'm not really afraid. If it goes 7.5, I probably put even more on. 6.5 makes not nervous, but I mean, in a game of inches, a game of half points, like that's where you're at.
Well, 6.5 is right where we saw it happen Sunday. The overtime touchdown, you win. If you
Yeah.
get to overtime,
Right.
you win regardless.
Right.
At 6.5.
Right. And I think, like you said, they laid the blueprint out. They're better than you think. And I think, and I could be totally wrong, but I've seen it before, where there are games that emotionally drain you. There are games that are just like, they're just too much. And now you walk into a trap game. So you would think after this game, there's no way they're going to lose to the Bengals after what just happened. But we've seen it. We've seen the letdown after this great comeback. You know what I mean? Eventually, let's just say this too. Call a spade. The Chiefs were down with 13 seconds left in the game.
Yeah.
So, yes, it took dramatics, and it took this, and it took that. But it also took the best receiver on the Bills, Stephon Diggs, to only have 7 yards. If he has 100, they lose that game, right? And there's a guy over there. Well, I shouldn't say that. There's 3 guys over there who are pretty damn good at football. Boyd, Higgins, Chase, who, honestly, Higgins had a really good game the other day.
Uzama's not bad himself.
Yeah, so they have some talent. They'll move the ball. And I think Joe Burrow is going to keep him in this game a little longer than everybody thinks. And the longer this game goes, where it's close, the more the Bengals are going to feel like they can win it. So I do think they cover +7. I don't really want to sprinkle money line. My heart is all on Bengals.
Yeah.
But I can't. I won't. I can't. Over-under scares me. I'm not going to touch it.
Yeah, I don't think I'm going to touch it.
If I were to touch it, Jimmy's right. I would tease Bengals to 13, and I would tease the over down to 48.5.
Why would you tease Bengals to 13 instead of just teasing the Chiefs to 1?
Because because part of me says that they can get it done.
Right, but 1, you just said you're not gonna do Bengals
Not money line. No. Yeah.
So Chiefs -1 is essentially the same. Argument.
Understandable.
Like,
I don't want to throw money away, right? So,
but the odds aren't changing from taking the 13 instead of the 1. It's still -110. So I'm gonna tell you right now that the safer bet is Kansas City -1 than Bengals +13.
I don't feel that way. Do you feel that way?
You just said you want to take the Bengals to win the
but
game.
you have to understand, a 2-team teaser, right, pays what?
It's -110.
Right. So I got to put out good money if I do.
Right, but if you're teasing the Bengals, it's still -110. You're not getting better odds because you tease the other way. It's still -110.
I see what you're saying. I do. I just think there is a chance the
And
Bengals can win.
when you take it from the 7 to the 1, it's essentially you're saying you're taking the Chiefs
So,
money line.
let's just
but
put it this
instead of
way.
it being -340 or whatever it's going to be, it's -110.
Let's just put it this way. Like you said, right? If I take the Bengals +13, I don't have to worry about who wins. I just need it to be close. If I take the Chiefs -1, I need the Chiefs to win.
Right. but-
That's how I feel.
So what history has shown us is that the Chiefs have probably the highest blowout ability of any offense we've seen since the 2010 Patriots, whatever year that was with Randy Moss when he threw the 50 touchdowns, whatever year that. And then the greatest show on turf, right? So if the odds are that this could be a blowout, I don't know. Like, I just think Chiefs by
I don't think it's a
1
blowout.
is safer. Right, but there's still a potential, and you're taking away the potential of the blowout by giving yourself Chiefs -1. That's just my 2 cents. on
Yeah.
it.
I don't know. I think differently. I don't want to be too. Well, I don't know. What do you think? I don't want to be because I don't.
I get what Hawk's saying.
Yeah, I get what he's
Yeah,
saying.
yeah.
But I'd rather just play for a close game and not care. You know what I mean? I know that if it's close, I'm covering. Whether the Bengals win by 3 or lose by 3, I'm good. Whether the Bengals win by 7 or lose by 7, I'm good. Chiefs -1 is if what I want to happen happens, then I lose. That's fucked up. I don't like that. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
That's
but
just how
like,
I feel.
To say that you can't and won't let yourself to put money on the money line, but then tease it the other way, just seems like conflicting ideas to me.
All right, I can.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear
That's
you.
all it
I
is.
hear you. But money line, remember, you're not. So you're saying money line what? Chiefs, or you're saying money
no.
line
You
Bengals?
said you cannot and will not take the Bengals money line. That's how you open this way.
Yeah, because I
And
wouldn't
then
bet a
you-
lot of money on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
So you
if I'm
said
doing it, I'm sprinkling
you
it.
said you can't take the Chiefs. So that means you're almost 90% confident they're not going to win the game.
I just don't think it's a safe bet
You-
at plus.
Right.
What was
So
it?
instead of
260?
extending their shield by 6 points, why wouldn't you just bring the Chiefs down to win the game? Because you just said 90% of you feels like the Bengals are losing this game. So they're not gonna. If they win by 1 and you fucking push, that's a bad beat. That's gambling. But chances are they're not gonna win by 1. Usually it's 2 or 3.
I could agree with that. I mean,
It's
listen,
not like it's 1.5 or 2.5, and now they gotta win by a field goal or they gotta win by by 4. You're getting it down to essentially just win the game. Especially if that line moves to 6.5, fucking forget about it.
I'm okay with that. I mean, listen, you could take them both.
Yeah, and you could. There's a chance you double up, 100%.
But we won't get into that. What do you think?
Obviously, you know who I am. Obviously,
I know who you are.
I
I know who you are.
We know who you're gonna pick.
Yeah, we know where you're going.
I can't get over the primetime factor. Every time you have, like I said, one of the most exciting weeks of football I've actively watched in my life, and I'm excited to see more. Joe Cool, I'm all in on this guy. Swagger, I love it. Everything's locked and loaded, baby.
Oh, I'm like
You see the video of him doing this in the club on Sunday?
Yeah, I did. Chiefs -1 is -350. If you don't tease it, you just take an alternate line. Oh God.
I'm a big believer in Joe Burrow. That's what I'm a big believer.
God Almighty. Bro.
Alrighty. So
right.
Bengals.
So you're going
Bengals
Bengals
money
straight,
line.
or you're going Bengals?
So
Bengals money line or +7?
I'm gonna take the Bengals money line, right?
Of course he is.
And I also want to smash the over on it too.
You're a fucking silly bitch.
Yeah.
He makes me nervous. But yeah, every time he bets on the Bengals, he
Every
hits.
time he makes us nervous, we all look silly the next Monday. So,
all right.
Second game.
San Fran going to the Los Angeles Rams.
Yep.
We already said it. The line's -3.5. Over under is
46.
What? 46.
Feel better about that one than you do about the 54.
I don't necessarily know about that.
No?
I feel better about the under on that one. The Niners didn't score an offensive or defensive touchdown last week.
Well, they were playing in the snow. It was 20 degrees outside. You don't think that counts for anything?
It doesn't. That's not the only example. The year they went to the Super Bowl, the NFC Championship game, right? When they
72 degrees and clear.
When the Niners went,
matters.
when the Niners went to the Super Bowl and lost to Mahomes 2 years ago, how many years ago, there was a game, either the divisional round or the conference championship game, where Jimmy Garoppolo only dropped back and attempted 7 or 8 passes. They're built to play defense, contain you, control the clock, and score 17, 10, and win the game. And clamps on defense on the other end. So two teams that clamp you down on defense and then play offense as a secondary, I'd go under.
9-5-2 is the 49ers against the spread. 6-9-1 are the Rams against the spread. 50% of the money's on the over. 50% of money's on the under.
Nice.
It opened at 46.5, so it's dropping. Money line, San Francisco's +155. It's getting 23% of the bets. San Francisco 77% at -180. And the spread line, 43% is on +3.5. And it opened at 3.5. So it's not moving much.
Yeah.
Before we start making picks, I just want to say, I don't know if you guys heard about this or not. Our fans may or may not have heard about this. SoFi Stadium restricting ticket sales.
Really?
They don't want San Fran fans. You have to live within a 100-mile radius of the stadium.
No way.
That is
because the last time they played, it might as well have been fucking Levi Stadium.
That's bullshit.
The players are pissed. Yeah,
that's
the
bullshit.
players are pissed.
That's absolute bullshit.
That is wild.
The NFL should block that.
Yeah.
Because it's weirdly
first of
enough,
all,
isn't it discrimination?
You want to control
like illegally.
You're only letting certain demographic in.
If you want to control who you sell the tickets to, that's fine. But don't, especially with the numbers they're charging for personal seat licenses at SoFi Stadium, don't tell me. I own the seat. I have the license. The seat is mine. I own it.
Yeah.
You can't tell me what I do with that seat.
Yeah, that's true.
So the last time they played Week 18, 27-24, 49ers won. We know that. 49ers beat them both times this year.
Correct.
So 27-24 is 51. That would have hit this over, right? Garoppolo had 316 passing yards. This game is interesting to me. He had 2 interceptions. So did Stafford. So 4 turnovers just on interceptions.
That's a pick 6 in that game too, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
A pick 6 that kind of
I'm gonna look at the
them.
first time they played too, just for all things to be kosher. Was it earlier in the year? Does anybody know what week it was? Because that would be incredible.
I think it's week 3 or 4.
Okay. Well,
I could be wrong.
you got to give me a second, so keep
All
talking about it.
Wouldn't it be just great if people from San Fran had relatives in that area and just used their mailing address and bought tickets to it anyway?
Yeah.
They're finding ways.
Just to figure out.
They're
a
gonna
way.
find ways.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're gonna find out a way.
Well, it's like they're SoFi Stadium is becoming the joke. It is not becoming. It's the joke of the NFL. It's the Chargers and the Rams are at a bigger disadvantage than every other team because they play 17 away games a year.
Yeah, essentially.
Especially the teams in the Northwest Pacific because they, it's not that far. San Fran to LA is what, 4 hours?
No, and if your team's in the conference, you're driving to it.
Yeah.
You're not going to think about it. And same thing from the north. Yeah. I mean, if it's Seattle, too, you figure California always messes me up on where things are. So
hear me out.
Yeah.
Hear me out. Would you drive to Andover, Maryland, if the Giants were playing in the conference championship game against the Washington football team, or maybe now Admirals?
No.
You wouldn't make that drive?
I'm not a fan. I don't like to go to the
Maryland's-
games. I don't like to go to
yeah.
the games.
It's about the same distance.
It is about the same distance, but I don't like to go to the games. So you're asking the wrong guy. But yeah, I hear what you're saying.
I don't think I would, but I get what you're saying. You're right.
Yeah, I don't like.
Like, I wouldn't drive to Buffalo for an AFC championship game, but I
All right,
drive
I
to
got it.
Boston.
Jesus Christ.
I drive to Foxborough.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that.
Week 10,
It was week 10. All right.
and the 49ers won 31-10,
All right, so it wouldn't hit on that one.
and Stafford threw 2 more interceptions.
Oh, yeah, that was the game
and
where Stafford looked bad.
Garoppolo did a whole lot of fucking nothing.
Yeah.
And he threw 2 touchdowns for 180 yards, but he only threw the ball 19 times, 15 for 19, which is a good completion percentage. But Eli Mitchell, 29 attempts in this one, 27 attempts, sorry, 91 yards. And Debo had 100 yards receiving and 30 more on the ground, and he had a receiving touchdown and a rushing touchdown.
What?
So Debo, listen,
Debo won that game.
the
That's
bet,
what it sounds
the
like.
the futures bet, Debo is plus 1,800, I believe, for Super Bowl MVP. Now they got to get there, right? But if you place it now, if you truly believe, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
But still, it's a lot.
It is a
You're
lot.
asking for a lot.
It is a
I
lot.
like the Rams minus 3.5 in this game. I probably wouldn't move the line one way or another. I'd probably just take it at minus 3.5. The over-under is something that I like right now. My heart says under. From what
Really?
I've
I say
seen
over. I say
out of
over.
the way the Niners have gotten through the offs, I feel like under, unless it's an ass beating and the fucking Rams put up 50 on their
Yeah.
own, and then what are you gonna do?
So,
But I don't want to hedge my bet on an ass beating where one team covers the
In the
over on their
playoffs.
own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cooper Kupp was 11 receptions for 122 the first time and 7 receptions for 118 the second time.
So he'll get his.
He'll get his. And Debo, the second game, same thing, 45 yards rushing touchdown and 100 yards receiving. So, and Ayuk had 100 yards the second time, and Dewan Jennings had 100 yards receiving too. So, I mean, we're out here.
Stafford had 2 picks in each game.
Stafford had 2
two
picks in each game.
Yes. He's playing smarter ball right now. He's not turning the ball over. Like I said, they turned the ball over 4
He has
times.
Odell Beckham Jr.
They
He
turned the
had him
ball
in
over.
game, but-
They turned the ball over 4 times last week. None of them are Stafford's fault. So, I mean, obviously anything could happen, but I don't see
Is Henderson
Stafford
out for the year?
combusting. No, they activated him last week.
He just didn't get a run.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, they just have Cam Akers back.
I'm gonna tell you right now, I think he might be the difference maker because Cam Akers fumbled the ball, and he put the ball on the ground twice, right?
They're throwing the ball to Sony Michel, which doesn't make sense to anybody
He's
ever.
got stone hands.
Guy's got feet for hands.
Yeah.
And Hendo's good out of the backfield.
I'm gonna not touch the game until the line moves. Does that sound silly?
No, that's what pro gamblers do.
I'm not gonna touch the line till it moves. If it goes to 3, I'm gonna take the Rams significantly heavy. If it moves to 4, I'm gonna figure it out. I'm gonna say because to me the 3.5 and the 4 doesn't change my bet a whole lot. So if I'm gonna bet 1 unit at, let's just do it this way. I'll just money wise, right? I'll bet $100 on the Rams to win minus 3.5. I'll bet 75 on them minus 4, but I'll bet 250 minus 3. So like that's how you know what I'm saying? And the half points in the playoffs matter. So it's that that's I'm gonna wait that one out. I do think it goes over. And side note, I I just got to be a little smarter. I got to stop taking next touchdown bets for fun, and we'll be okay. You know,
They are fun.
So we'll be okay.
I have a thing on next touchdowns I want to say, but I want to hear Brian's thoughts on the game and his pick.
I like Rams, honestly. -3.5. Like you said, if it goes down to 3, it's even better. But -3.5 seems good. I felt confident about the over, and then you kind of
I'm on the over.
described kind of how the games go. And then you look at both games; they are both 50-50. So I'm kind of 50-50 on it. I might stay away from over/under, but I think I'm going to take Rams 3.5 either way. Maybe work it into a parlay or something.
I just feel like for anybody in this room that doesn't take Rams when we've been literally riding them for now 2 years, it's like it would be an injustice. You know what I mean? Just because
at
49ers
this point,
are hot.
people might be sick of hearing about it.
Right.
Like, these
well,
fucking,
that's the point.
these guys are Stafford dick riders.
The point is for us to say it till it's nauseating,
till I'm
and then
blue in the fucking
and then
face,
it happens, and we say, "Told you so." You know, that's the point. So in my heart, it's Rams Bengals. In my head, it's Rams Chiefs.
In my wallet, it's Rams Bengals, dude. Because remember, your boy laid that money on November 1st for the Rams to win the Super Bowl, and I am not worried about if they square up with the Bengals in the Super Bowl.
Neither am I. I was going to say the same thing.
I double down. I would double down if it
I'll
was
start
Bengals
drinking in
Rams.
the first quarter.
That spread will be 9.
Fine.
That's a 9. That's scary. The biggest Super Bowl spreads were all upsets. Remember that. But we got to get there first.
Yeah.
What do you want to say about
You could.
What do you want to say about crazy stupid prop bets?
You could have, and I'm sure you did. You could have live touchdown bet every single touchdown in the Bills-Chiefs game, and you never would have taken Gabriel Davis again.
No.
You never would have done it. After the
I
first
am
one,
gonna
you
be
would have been
honest.
like, all right, well, I missed on whoever that was. It's not going to be Gabe Davis again. And then after the second one, when you missed on it, you would have been like, it's not going to happen a third time. And then when it happened the fourth time, you probably just like, I've hemorrhaged so much money on next touchdown bets at this point that I'm just going to call it a fucking loss.
Yeah, well, I'm going to be honest with you. For all the viewers out there and all the viewers in Columbus, Ohio, I had Dawson Knox, Singletary, Josh Allen, Stephon Diggs, Tyreek Hill, Kelsey, McKinnon. I think that's it. And I didn't win on one.
All on next touchdown score.
And I didn't win on one. And instead, it's fucking Patrick Mahomes running it in when I had McKinnon. I'm like, oh, that's funny. That's a silly
It's
shit.
better than it being a fat guy, though, right?
I guess. I'm not, I mean, God. And, yeah, it's Stephon Diggs quite a few times. I was like, because, you know, after Gabriel Davis catches 1, then 2, then 3, you're like, it's got to be Diggs. Diggs has got to do something, right?
Yeah.
But, yeah, you know, it's not tremendous amounts of money that I'm putting on it, but it still, like, adds up over the landscape of the weekend. And next thing you know, Jamar Chase really let me down. None of our picks hit, right?
0.
Yeah.
Over.
The guys that rode with us, you know, thanks, but
Yeah. Appreciate the
obviously-
support.
Obviously, no thanks. Yeah, I can't imagine it happening again. I feel like the only way to be transparent is to continue to put it out there, and then people either be like, "You're a loser," or "I'm gonna ride with you again." So I'm gonna do it again. I'm gonna do it right now. I'm gonna do it again.
Let's hear it.
You guys are gonna be like, "What? Really?" I'm gonna go Jamar Chase touchdown because he hasn't.
Burned twice.
Because he's had almost 100 yards in every playoff game, and he's yet, except the first week,
Mhm.
you know, the last 2, he's yet to have another touchdown. So I'm going to go Jamar Chase touchdown. I'm going to go Tyreek Hill. I'm only going to do 3. And I'm going to go, I can't believe I'm going to do this. I'm going to go Odell Beckham
I
again.
knew it. I knew he was going to say it, dude. Before he even said, I can't believe I'm going to do this.
Well, you
he's
knew it.
gonna say Odell.
Yeah,
'Cause
well,
he's not getting odds on Cooper.
right.
Yep.
Right.
Gotcha.
And I would go
Alright.
Debo, but I'm not going to be
I
a
got
silly
one
bitch.
for you. I got one
I'm
for
done
you.
being a silly bitch, dude. I'm done.
I got one for you. A specialized one.
The punter.
CJ Uzama,
Yeah.
Travis Kelsey,
All tight ends. Dawson Knox.
Tyler Dawson Knox
Tyler
is
Higbee. Let's
Dawson
go.
Knox
Oh,
is playing
Dawson
fucking golf, dude.
God, dude.
Tyler
He won't
Higbee.
score, dude.
He's not. I know he
Unless
won't.
it's with the ladies, he ain't scoring.
well, shout out Mrs. Knox.
He's married?
I don't know.
I was gonna say.
So that's mine. I just came up with on the spot. Let's go tight ends. Let's go big guys. Uzama, Higbee, Kelsey. Don't know the odds. It's probably
Way more than mine.
yeah.
Higbee, dude. Yeah, it's way
Stafford
more than
loves
mine.
that big guy, dude.
He does, and he played good when I didn't think he would play good last week, because they're pretty good against the tight end.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what do you got?
You got any
Brian?
bonkers touchdown?
Because I'm gonna
right after we just got done telling you it's a stupid sucker.
no live betting, and they're all sucker bets, but live betting especially
Is the
isn't
one that I can think of right now.
is an absolute sucker.
That's
Just
fine.
go running backs and we go Mixon. Give me Mixon, McKinnon.
Yeah, he's like, I can't think of one, but give me 4
Akers.
seconds. And
Yeah,
I'll
well,
come up with
if
one.
we're sitting with a theme,
Mixon, McKinnon, and who?
Akers.
Akers.
Well,
Well,
you're
let's
going.
go Hendo.
See-
There'll
Love
probably be
that.
better odds on
Love
Hendo anyway,
that.
so you
Yeah.
can sneak in for one on a spell or something. You wanna go?
As a daily fantasy player on the app, Prize Picks,
Okay, go ahead.
I'm looking for touchdowns, and we got Joe Mixon and Debo Samuel for a touchdown.
Half.
Yeah, half. I like Debo a lot. You say you're being silly.
No, you're not silly, but on in game you have to choose if it's rushing or receiving, and it's not worth it to me, right? So at least on DraftKings, which is what I use, they want you to choose rushing or receiving. How the fuck do I know? All I know is I want him in the end zone.
I will say also for Prize Picks,
That
we
is
do
wild.
have Jamar, Reek, and Kelsey for receiving touchdowns. Okay, it's spicy, and if I'm putting them together, I'm gonna put those guys together. I'll put all 5 of those guys together. I'll parlay them on Prize Picks. All these guys that score 1 touchdown. You know what? You want to put that in the DraftKings?
Yes, I will.
Let's see some odds for it, because
I will if you would like me to.
I would like you to.
All right.
Because I think
First of all, don't yell at me.
I'm
Second
not
of all,
yelling. I think I'm being
let's go. Hurry up. What do we got?
Joe Mixon, rushing touchdown. Debo Samuel, rushing touchdown. Jamar Chase, receiving. Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelsey.
Going blind over here. Listen to me. How many was that? 5?
5.
They're not even gonna give me those odds. They're
Bump
not-
it down to,
they're not
bump it
gonna
down to
give
4.
those
Take Mixon out.
I don't even know if they're gonna give me those. Let's try.
Do me a favor. Don't listen on the microphone like that.
All right, good. Mixon,
You know how
Kelsey.
annoying that's going to be on the audio playback for
Oh,
people
stop.
listening?
Stop. They'll be okay. See, it's not even giving me odds. So there you go. We're out of
So insurmountable odds. All right. Anything else?
that. Insurmountable odds. No, that's it. I'm done. Let's go. Let's go Bengals.
Let's go Rams.
Yeah, let's go Rams.
I'm not really concerned about the Rams, honestly.
All right.
Let's go Bengals. So
Go Bengals.
Jackson Mahomes cries, and that's it. Or he says, it's not fair. That's what I'm ready.
Life ain't fair, kid.
Yeah, that's right.
Life ain't fair.
Close us out.
We're brought to you by House of Havoc Podcasting, Tiger Path Productions, Sachi DiGennaro, Stay Thirsty Company, and the City of Columbus, Ohio.
Let's go.
Peace out.